out with 12. We will have one quarterfinal game for each division, followed up by one semifinal game for each division, and then tomorrow night we are going to have the actual finals for Mobile Mayhem, and alongside the third place game too, that will feature the winners from tonight, obviously. So excited to see these teams play. For those of you wondering what the schedule looks like, people following Mobile Mayhem over on Twitter have already seen Nova Invictus versus 11T is going to be game number 1, followed by Nova Imperium versus Zygnus. The winner of those two games will face off against NL Esports and Tribe Gaming. So lots of great matches ahead of us tonight. And if your favorite team wins, make sure not to go anywhere. They will be playing again. If your favorite team's not playing till game number 2, well then guess what? You get to watch them in game number 2. Anyway, excited to watch the games tonight. Day, which of these matchups are you looking forward to most?
Well, I mean, they're all gonna be phenomenal games. I mean, this is what we went through the entire season for, was to boil it down to the top 6 teams so that we'd have, obviously, great games for the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. So, our most important matchups, obviously, will be matchups 3 and 4, which is going to be NL Esports versus the winner of the first qualifier, which is 11T versus Invictus, and Tribe Gaming versus the winner of quarterfinal 2, which is Nova Imperium versus Zygnus. So, obviously, the semifinals more important, or most important, because that's going to be deciding who goes on to the grand finals and who goes on to the third place decider on our Thursday stream. As far as what matchups will be the best, based off of what we're looking at for our quarterfinals, since we obviously don't know yet what we have going on for the semis, I'm really excited to see 11T and Nova Invictus, because they're, to me, both teams that struggled a little bit in the earlier stages of the season, but really came together and put in the work and developed their skills towards the end. So it's been up and up for them, and I really think that's going to bring a lot of excitement to the table. Quarterfinals 2, Nova Imperium versus Zygnus. I also think that should be a pretty good matchup, but I'm really just mostly excited to see how that team development for 11T and Nova Invictus come along from final weeks till now.
Yeah, and for those of you who would like apologies, guys. I was under the impression that I had audio input for the scene. We do now have it. As I was saying, this is a better visual representation of what we've got going on tonight. So even for teams that do end up losing in the semifinals, they will move on to the bronze bracket, and we'll be playing our first matchup on Thursday night, which will be followed by our finals matchup, which will obviously be the two teams that end up winning in the semifinals. So lots ahead of us. We will take a look at our maps and our bans for tonight. Obviously, game number 1, Nova Invictus versus Team 11D. Not too surprising. We see the Man-O-War and the Arctic 50 banned, and if I had to guess, that's probably going to be the most consistently banned weapons, just because the Arctic 50 with stopping power, pretty well agreed to be one of the most, if not the most broken guns in the game. The Man-O-War definitely up there as the number 1 assault rifle in the game by most standards, and we do have bans on Hardpoint on Summit for Nova Invictus, Search and Destroy on Crossfire for 11D. So game number 1 is going to be Scrapyard Hardpoint, followed by Meltdown, Search and Destroy, and if we do go to a game number 3, we're going to be playing Hackney Yard Domination. So lots to look forward to in game number 1. And keep in mind, we got a total of 4 games going on tonight. So it's going to be a blast to watch, and definitely gives us that much more to look forward to when it comes to Thursday's matchups.
And I believe our semifinals, which should be our 3rd and 4th matchup of the night, I believe those are best of 5s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, best of 5 for the semifinals, and then the bronze game will be best of 5, followed by a best of 7 for the actual finals.
Fantastic.
All right. Yep. We do have most of our teams loaded in, as just waiting for a couple more 11T players. This has been a team that has improved a lot throughout this. I mean, honestly, both teams have improved so much. Based on the start of the season, I did not think that Nova Invictus was going to have a shot at being top 3, let alone just dominating against Trovo Mayhem. Really taking it to some of these top teams who have been really well established and been dominant. Obviously, the switch to phone going to give them a little bit of an advantage, because this is one of the teams that made the switch to phone early on, and that hard work did finally pay off despite their struggles in Stage 4 of the COD M Champs. And looking over at 11T, they also had some struggles early on the season. Got a 2-0 win against Tribe, but only as a result of DQs because they didn't submit screenshots. So they still have a lot to prove and would absolutely love to have a rematch against that Tribe team. We are still waiting for one more 11T player. If I had to guess, that's probably going to be Parka. The current roster for each team: Zai, Yuji, Wiru, and Just in for 11T. Parish Band, Desi, Impulsive, and Envy in for Nova Invictus right now.
Yeah, and I do think one little important bit of information that we can touch on. Obviously, we went through an entire season. All of these teams did play off against each other. So in week 2, we had 11T versus Nova Invictus. And again, this is kind of in the beginning when we had Nova Invictus struggling the most, and they really kind of came up throughout the season. 11T did win versus Nova Invictus in a 2-1 win. So that's pretty important to make note of, because we have the rematch going on now. A little bit later in the season, we've had some roster changes specifically for the side of Nova Invictus. And again, both of these teams have really progressed and refined their skills from where we saw them in week 2 up until now, which I believe is, week 7? So a lot of games have been played from then till now.
Yep. And we do have Parka getting loaded in for 11T right here. So definitely the expected roster from 11T. This is a team that has been a little bit up and down throughout the season. They've, toward the beginning, counted on Wiru a lot in the Search and Destroy, but feels like throughout the season they've definitely gotten a lot more even contributions and have really come to depend on the shotgun skills of Yuji. That's played a massive role, especially when it comes to the respawns, as we've seen many games where he's been able to get 30-plus kills, and definitely expect him to have a big performance going up against this Nova roster. And we do expect to see a solid Search and Destroy performance from Wiru, but at the same time, it seems like the rest of the team is evened out a little bit more, and they don't quite have to depend 100% on him when it comes to the respawns, or on the Search and Destroy, as well as not necessarily depending on him for the respawns too.
Yeah, and honestly, this 11T roster, as you mentioned, obviously in the beginning, it was a lot of, if Wiru's going to show up to destroy, or if he's going to, he was showing up to Search and Destroy, struggling in the respawn modes, but really came up as a individual player, and we've seen him doing much better across the board. So I do think that is a strong point for Team 11T here, is just that Wiru has really developed his skills a lot more rounded as a player. Obviously, Yuji and Parka have both been just staple players for this team as well. The Yuji consistently putting in work for the team. Parka, obviously, one of the main snipers for the team as well. And that's a point I really want to hit on here, is Nova don't have as much time with their new main sniper, and that has been mostly Impulsive, who is picked up from what was formerly XSET, then is now called Status Quo. So Impulsive picked up from there, came through with some big performances early on when he joined this team. But I am a little worried about the time that they've had, or rather time they haven't had to develop that team synergy.
Yep. We do have all of our players loaded in, good to go for game number 1. Keep in mind, we do have bans of the Arctic 50 and the Man-O-War, so you will not see those in play. Everything else is free reign, probably lots of DRH, ASM 10, HVKs. and we are off to the races. Maybe a couple of choppers too. We do tend to see that a little bit when it comes to Scrapyard hardpoint. Can be really useful, especially on that first hardpoint. We have seen quite a good bit of Nova gas, or not really Nova gas, gas grenade I believe is the name of it, used early on. We do see Band and Parrish making entry into the hardpoint. Band finding 3 early frags for Nova Invictus, and that's going to be really big for them. They have complete control of this hardpoint. Weir's going to get taken out on the outside. All looking to make the push on in. He's actually going to make a counter push, but Parka is there waiting for him on the other side, immediately refragged. Weird trying to make a push on in as well, but 11T not really finding a whole lot of progress right here, and they do finally get their first break as Just gets a frag, makes his way on into the hard point, immediately eliminated by Band, who is having himself a game right now, already 5 kills on the board.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked at how aggressive Zai, specifically on P1, has played with the chopper. Electing to really get into the point versus, we've talked about it since this map was introduced to mobile mayhem, Bobby, is that all of that center fuselage area of the planes down in the middle is very easily wall bangable, especially with a LMG. So I would like to see him play a little bit more defensive zone control on the outside of the objective, where he's a little bit safer and can really just put bullets into that plane and kind of help his team from afar, rather than trying to win those up-close gunfights. So maybe on our second rotation of P1, we can see that switch up a little bit. 2 kills on the board for him. Yuji, obviously one of the players we mentioned as kind of a staple player for the side of 11T, leading the board with 9 already. So huge performance coming out of him. Band, potentially MVP or top player for the side of Nova, sitting down at 5, tied with Desi. So definitely a little bit behind in the kills for Nova, and that has been reflected pretty solidly in the score so far. P1 done, P2 done, and we have a 30-point lead currently for 11.
And right now we see Nova Invictus with a 5 stack of DRHs, so not a whole lot of variety over there, but 11D switching things up a good bit. It is going to be Nova Invictus maintaining control of the hardpoint. Zai right on the outside, trying to regen over by that dumpster right there, and Parker going to peek the window right there, get a really big double kill. Yuji already well into the double digits, 13 kills for him, finally taken out by Impulsive, but he's got a score streak to work with in that Goliath, and could potentially be good. This is such a big map that a lot of times you won't see players make quite as much use of their Goliaths, because it's really unlikely that you're going to get more than 1 hardpoint's worth before you do get exposed to some type of operator. So it's more than likely that he'll be saving that toward the end of the game. Yuji finding another frag, 14 kills on the board. I mean, just relative to everybody else in the lobby, he is dominating. Parka having himself a game right now as well, about to move into the double digits, and we do have 11T already set up and good to go for P4 right here, doubling up on this Nova Invictus team, and they have come to play today. Yuji with 17. Impulsive slides the corner, does find the frag onto him. That's going to be a crucial one, and Parrish pulls out the grab spikes, not able to get a frag, but ends up finding one anyway, pulls out the DRH. Finds a kill right there. Nova Invictus in control of P4. And I think Day's mic may have cut out right there. Not sure what's happening, but we do still have Parrish on the inside. Weird finds a frag. He's pulled out that Annihilator, and he's going to absolute work with it. Is going to get eliminated, but not before he gets full value, and Desi knocked off his Annihilator as well. It will be 11T closing out that hard point, and just looking to make the push on in. He gets the War Machine kill as he gets traded out right there. Yuji now 11 kills, sorry, 18 kills. I was looking at the 11T in his name and accidentally said that, but man, oh man, this man's going in. Not too surprising. We predicted that he was going to be one of the top fraggers, and we have seen him use the shotgun a little bit more, but on a map that's as big as Scrapyard, you won't typically see a whole lot of shotguns come into play. It looks to make the hop-up. I don't know if he wasn't able to do it, or if there's a glitch right there. He's going to get taken out And it looks like, at least for the time being, there might have been time for a contest to go on in, but everybody's spawning across the map for Nova Invictus. And 11D looking like they could very well get a free 30 seconds to close out the hill right here. Day is restarting Discord right now, so hopefully we'll have him back soon. Usually 20 kills for him. 4 players in double digits, which is not really that many more than we see over on Nova Invictus. But when you see the kill counts, 20 for Yuji, 13 for Parka, definitely starting to grow that gap and just the only player. Honestly, we got everybody in double digits for Nova Invictus before we had it for 11T, but they've just not been able to make the rotations. The holds have been really clean for 11T so far, and they've just been at the right place at the right time. Desi's going to find a big frag onto Wiru, and if he can find this one onto Zai, which he can't, could have been a really big opportunity, but he's actually stuck with that chopper the entire game. You don't typically expect to see players running the entire game. Usually P1, maybe into P2, you'll see a little bit of chopper usage, and this is where you really see it come in. More than likely, as soon as he sees that flag light up for being in control of Nova Invictus, he'll start spraying, and there you go. Exactly why the chopper comes into play as he gets the frag onto Impulsive, immediately knocks him off the hard point. Ban trying to find some frags with his War Machine. He's going to find some time on the hill, but the wall bangs left and right going the way of 11T. They've got a 60-point lead and looking to continue to grow it as they are really well set up for P2.
Yeah, Zai pulled out his Tempest there and immediately got a hit marker, dropped down to 1 HP and is able to survive. Ends up picking up the kill onto Parrish with that kind of second chance at life he had there. By the way, sorry about dropping out there, Bobby. I don't know why, but my headset, or well, my Discord decided it wanted to reconnect to a headset that I haven't had for 2 years. So I don't know what was going on there, but we back. This has been an exciting matchup to watch. Yuji still really rocking it, 24 kills on the board. Kind of the real big step we have to look at here on the side of 11T is Wiru is performing averagely right now in respawn, which again has been one of his struggles for this team all season long. He's usually bottom frag, so the fact that we see him up and doing well here leads me to believe that they're going to have a good search and destroy matchup to follow this, no matter who comes out on the winner of the hardpoint matchup. We do see Zai getting it set up for a defense on the next hardpoint here, kind of using that really nasty head glitch with the chopper, looking for a rotation over, but isn't going to find anybody quite yet.
Yeah, this has been very, very even, and even though Nova Invictus struggled a little bit off the start, only 7 points separate these two teams right now. You can see Nova Invictus trying to break in. Wiru finds another big frag, like you talked about. He struggled a little bit in the respawns. Now, do you see Envy in the feed trying to do everything he can? Picks up a big double kill. It's Nova Invictus really close to making the push in. Wiru, unfortunate timing when he goes to un-ADS right there. That's going to be a complete break going in for Nova Invictus, and they've got Decipher now looking to push out and try to alleviate some of that pressure that 11T looking to apply. He's going to find one right there. Takes out Wiru. The feed is all Nova Invictus right now. Parka does find a frag, but he has slowed down a lot since the beginning of the game. Was second from top frag for the team and now finds himself close to the bottom. Yuji hasn't slowed down at all, but the map control for 11T is waning. We do see Wiru finding big kill after big kill, but he's going to get taken out as well. And right now it seems like the momentum is swinging really big in favor of Nova Invictus.
Yeah, and this is a big bit of momentum for them to be able to pick up here. Envy has really stepped up, banned a repeat carry player for the side of Nova Invictus here, also trying to do his best to contest. They've taken about a 25-point lead, almost 30-point lead here, and this is a big kind of cushion that they have now, in that they have time on this hardpoint that they can win if they're able to hold it contested. But even if they don't, even if it does get interrupted, which does look like it is going to get stalled out a couple seconds there, enough for it to prevent the victory, they are going to be so very close to closing this game out. And it puts 11T in a really difficult position where they can't afford to give up trickle time at the beginning or the end of a hard point, especially with Nova Invictus right now looking like they have pretty solid control. They're going to be within about 10 or 15 points going into this next hard point, and 11T aren't in a position where if they hold an entire hard point uncontested, that they can close out. So this is starting to look fantastic if you're a Nova fan.
And now that we're at the place where it looks like it could be the final hard point, we are going to start to see some of those Goliaths come out. We do see one Nova Invictus player hopping into one, and it's actually going to be immediately eliminated. Right now, 11T has to do everything they can. They actually get the break right there. That is huge. Zai finding the right frags at the right time. 23 on the board for him. 31 now in play for Yuji, and right now, Nova Invictus spawning all the way across the map. They've got a long run before they make it on back here, and we do see multiple operators in play. We could very well see a Goliath come into play as well in Band. Really, really good rotation right there. That's going to be a break for Nova Invictus, and that is going to give them the win in game number 1, 250 to 204.
Yeah, that was an incredibly good game for Nova Invictus. It started off really heavy in the side of Team 11T, but then something really just ticked for Nova. They tightened things up. They made stronger rotations together as a team, which allowed them to potentially win more gunfights outright just because there was more bodies for the enemy to try to shoot at. But it also allowed them to come out a lot more positively in the trades. Where they were getting much more effect. And yeah, it may be a kill for a kill, but we have more bodies trying to sink into this anchor now so that our guy is going to respawn on objective, your guy is going to respawn and have to hike across the map. So worked out really, really well for them. And, you know, again, this is a Nova Invictus win, but with Wiro performing pretty well there, honestly. I mean, overall, if you look at the beginning of the season where he really struggled in respawns, that's not the Wiro we saw here today. So that leads me to believe that he has a lot of potential to help this team out in Search and Destroy, where I think 11T is a little bit stronger in Search and Destroy and in Domination. So still a rough road for Nova Invictus moving forward.
Yeah, definitely going to make for a really interesting game, too. We are working on getting Dave's camera back, and there it is. We should be good to go for game number 2 pretty soon here. Keep in mind, quarterfinals are going to be best of 3. Semifinals will be best of 5, and the finals themselves will be best of 7. So it is going to be the usual. Game number 2 is going to be Search and Destroy on... Can you remember what map it is? Let me check real quick. Meltdown! Meltdown Search and Destroy for game number 2. Always a good one, and I mean, it can just be played so many different ways. That's the cool thing about Meltdown, is it doesn't really feel like there's any one side that gives an absolute advantage. There's different sides that have different advantages based on your play style, based on the pace of play, and definitely excited to see how these two teams match up. Is obviously a lot on the line for 11T right here, and definitely expecting to see big things out of Wiro, as he's definitely been the star for 11T when it comes to Search and Destroy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And with it being Meltdown, I don't feel like either of these teams has a really overwhelmingly strong sniper lineup. I mean, we have good sniper players on both these teams, but it's not really like a Cheto or a Little B or an A-Flows. At least they haven't been performing on that level.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the B site lends favor to the team that has stronger snipers. So I could see the teams facing off there a little bit, trying to get a feel early on in the first couple rounds of who has the stronger advantage in that kind of long-range matchup. You look at the opposite side of the map over at the A side, Bomb, completely different. Everything is close range, lends a lot more favor to shotguns for one, which we know we've seen Yuji using quite a bit this season and been excellent at it. So that's always potential for the side of 11T if they don't feel they have the advantage they want at B, as well as some of the submachine guns, which haven't seen too much light in COD Mobile for at least a couple seasons of Mobile Mayhem now, at least. But we do have a couple players on 11T who do like to switch into them here and there. UG being one of them and Just being one of them. So they could really use that A side advantage if they feel Parko or Zai is unable to compete with that long range at B.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see. I feel like Zai is the one player that we recognize out of either of these two lineups that is always going to snipe and search and destroy. So with that
I would
being the
actually
play,
say Parka more than Zai.
Parka, no. Zai's sniper 100% of the time. Parka will sometimes switch off. I don't know. I could be wrong. And also it could the fact that we do have a ban on the Arctic 50 could play into this as well. So
yeah, it definitely could.
That's something else you got to keep in mind. A lot of times when that is in play, then some people we've even seen Weird do it when the Arctic 50 is not banned. They'll pull it out just because it is so broken that it's an automatic one shot anywhere on the body. So we could see a little bit of variation, but we will have. If I'm remembering how different sides of custom lobbies work, I believe that 11T will probably be on the offensive off the start, which will likely lend to them heading toward the B.
Likes of what 11T is able to bring to the table. Again, neither one of these teams really has that standout sniper that's at that top level. With, again, the likes of Cheto or even Fish from NL has really been a strong sniper so far this season. A-Flows from Tribe has just really been in a different league. So I feel like we've got potentially a pretty even sniper matchup here. It's just we haven't seen enough of Impulsive to really have a good answer on that.
Yep. And we do actually have our results for the finals for the what am I trying to say? The awards for this season, so I'm excited to take a look at that one. Honestly, the results are pretty close to kind of what I expected to see, and some rookies making really big. I'm not going to make too many spoilers, but there are a lot of rookies in pretty much every category. Obviously, we're always going to have rookies and rookie of the split, but MVP and marksman of the split as well, rookies all over the place. So definitely think I'm not surprised by any of what we see right there, but you guys
I think
very
this
well.
is really, really accurate.
Yeah,
actually.
definitely a pretty accurate voting based on what we've seen, especially in the last few weeks. And excited to talk about those. We'll probably cover those either following this game or maybe moving into the semifinals.
We can just do one between each game. We got 4 matchups ahead of us.
True. I like it.
I guess that means we should have started with one. But...
and we actually have Decipher getting subbed out for Lewis right there. So I believe he has actually sniped for Nova Invictus previously.
Yes, yep.
And that could potentially be a game changer for them.
And that could be part of it, because looking through at my notes, I've kind of had like the Slayer to watch and the Sniper to watch for each of these teams. And before Impulsive joined, it was Lewis who is the Sniper repeatedly, week after week for them. So I definitely think that spices things a little bit up for Meltdown specifically that we talked about, Sniper presence at B. However, in kind of a similar boat, since we've picked up Impulsive, and even a little bit before, we haven't seen a ton of Lewis. So where is the synergy going to line up here? It obviously worked out pretty well for them in Game 1. They were able to come through with a win despite a little bit sloppy of a start. But again, seems like he's performing here today. So in the A Search and Destroy matchup, I think I still give 11T a little bit the edge. And potentially, obviously, if we get into a domination, I would slightly favor 11T there. But again, Nova Invictus, they've put in the work. They've improved week after week, and they are a team absolutely to be reckoned with.
Yep, we do have everybody ready up, and we had everybody ready up, and Zim had to go and miss it, so now we gotta wait for a couple more people. We should be good to start. YouTube chat, I apologize. Sometimes YouTube just decides to not work, so that happens, but Trovo stream was running fine, so if you guys want to go watch it, trovo.live/BobbyPlays, that is the place to be. I think we're getting some technical issues squared away, so apologies for the wait. We'll try to keep the time in between games relatively minimal, especially given that our second and third, or I guess third and fourth matchups could take a while. It is going to be a couple of best of fives, and this will be our first time playing best of five with the more recently implemented rules, such as 200-point domination and 250-point hardpoint. So could go a little bit longer, but definitely going to be a great night of matchups. We got everybody ready up again. So hopefully we can get the issues squared away pretty soon right here and hop into the second game.
Yeah, definitely should be a exciting one. Again, I really have a lot of hopes and expectations that this game could go, or this match up could go to a game 3. Which again, we spent an entire season boiling it down to the top 6 teams. And we are getting into the game. We are ready for our search and destroy on Meltdown.
All right, we are good to go. It looks like Yuji does have that shotgun out and looking to cause some issues for Nova Invictus. It will be them on the offensive side, which is opposite of what I predicted. So we'll take a look at Lewis. As more than likely, his decision will determine the approach, and we do see him making the push on over the B site. We actually see the majority of his team going mid/A site, which is interesting. Trying to find a pick over here on the backside of Generators, just the only play over there for 11T, and yet to see a first blood. Lewis trying to take advantage of that sniper's nest, but hasn't been able to find anything so far. He's got the bomb in hand. We don't typically see the bomb carrier alone. So we'll see what happens right here. Just waiting very patiently in the mid side of Generators, just sounding off, waiting for somebody to make the push on in. Lewis still sitting back on that B site, and it's actually going to be Yuji pushed up to a really solid spot right here. He's actually pulled out the LK, which he was doing really well with in game number 1. Unfortunately for 11T, it wasn't quite enough to net them enough frags, and Parrish and Band finding a couple big first bloods, but they're going to get traded out. It's 3 players apiece. Zai's going to drop off right there. Parka and Wiru, the remaining players for 11T right here. It looks like the bomb is going to go down for Band over on the B site. Envy barely able to stay alive, and now Band with the bomb down, repositioning, trying to find a couple frags right here. Wiru up into the sniper's nest, taking shots, not able to make them land right here. Band playing the corner. Slide peeks the corner and somehow doesn't take damage from Wiru once again. He's going to definitely either kill or be killed, and it's going to be killed as Parka is the only player left alive. Finds a couple big kills, impulsive on the backside. Parka, what a clutch right there. Could not have played that any more perfectly. He's going to get the defuse over onto the B site. And 11T, after losing game number 1, will take round 1.
Yeah, it was a pretty spicy start. I mean, that boiled right down to the last remaining players. Envy came through big for the team there, but unfortunately Nova were unable to find the final kill that they needed, and we were able to get the defuse coming out of 11T there. So there is still a lot of potential for this game to turn around. We have potentially another 10 rounds ahead of us still. If it wins that. Oh.
I mean, that's a crazy amount of games to think about, but I'm looking forward to it. We do see a couple players dropping off already. Actually, everybody but Parrish already dead for Nova Invictus, and he's pretty content to sit back. I don't know that I love that angle. You don't have a whole lot of... with a Fennec, you'd typically prefer not to have to close the gap a whole lot. He's going to try to take shots at Yuji. He is going to... Oh, nearly get the frag, but Zai actually saves his life right there, and... Off the bat, 11T looking very strong as Nova Invictus has not really found any type of a pattern to their play after a couple failed B pushes. If I had to guess, probably going to see an A push right here, and that we do as all 5 players full sending to the A site.
Yeah, and the start of this game so far has been a lot of exactly what I expected out of 11T when I was mentioning earlier that they have a lot of submachine gun and shotgun players available on their team. Just has been able to get an early kill time after time with that Fennec just because of how fast that fire rate is. It makes it really easy to be able to turn a corner and win a gunfight even against someone who maybe weren't ready for the rate of fire. Makes up for just a little bit of leeway of having that advantage of being on potentially what would be defense, but he's playing very far forward, and it's been great for the side of 11T, who once again just clean right through Nova. And I did, again, leading into this, I gave 11T the edge in this matchup because of Search and Destroy is just a stronger game mode overall for them. As far as their teamwork and the way they play goes, but I didn't quite expect it to be so one-sided. Shy of that first round that was very close, this has been all control of 11T so far.
And in both rounds 1 and 3, Parka played a really big role. We saw him finding the final 2 kills there, and I believe 3 of the final kills in round 1, so he has played a huge role. The B plant going to go in once again for Nova Invictus right here, trying to slow down the retake, but Weru finding first blood. It is Parka finally dropping off, and a big feed going in for Nova Invictus, looking like they might finally take their first round win. Weru eliminated just the only player alive, but the double kill goes in. Can he get the triple right here? He gets the reload off. He somehow made it happen right there. The triple kill for him. There's no way he should have survived that, and yet somehow he makes it happen. A 4-0 lead for 11T right here following their loss in game number 1.
A 4-0 lead for 11T, but that was signs of life that bounced back from the side of Nova Imperium there. Round 2 and round 3 were all control of 11T. Nova really, really brought their stuff that round and could potentially still push us much further into this game. It is first to 6, so obviously 11T are just 2 rounds away from potentially finding a win. And they've been on defense, so you and I talked about it a little bit before the game, Bobby, that there's not really a favorited side on this map because there's just so many different ways that you can play Meltdown. So we'll have to see if maybe 11T just have the edge here defensively, and if we're going to have any sort of comeback from Nova. What I am shocked to see is the complete absence of snipers right now, right? So Lewis, who we were mentioning, has previously been the primary sniper for Nova, not sniping. Impulsive, who's been the new primary sniper for Nova, also not sniping.
And we do see Nova Invictus finally finding a round right there as they're able to take out Park toward the end. He really wanted to have another 1v3 under his belt, but wasn't able to make it happen. We will have teams now switching sides as 11D moves to the offensive, and we'll see if this ends up working to the advantage of Nova Invictus. Obviously, 11D doing really, really well on the offensive side. And really, playstyle does tend to dictate that a lot. We see Just and Zai both playing very, very close-range guns. And Yuji, the Fennec, actually 2 Fennecs and a Buy 15, all extremely close-range guns, and really making them super effective in their prime range has worked super well for this team. We do see Parrish swapping on over to the Fennec, so we'll see if he can find some frags, but taking a lot of damage from the nade right there. He's going to be forced to back up. They do get a little bit of progress right here, but Zai immediately trading out 2 players. It's going to be Weru up in the top side in 11T, continuing to dominate as they quickly, I mean, they just stopped the retake from Nova Invictus in their tracks, and they are only 1 round away from pushing us to a game number 3.
Yeah, unfortunately for Nova, they bounced back. They showed that they weren't just going to get rolled over and that they can bring their A game to the table. But as you mentioned, 11T put a stop to that pretty quick. Envy, however, opens with a beautiful frag onto Just, who has been top fragging for the side of 11T. Lewis finds the kill onto Yuji to trade out with Band. So this is a big opportunity for Nova to try to re-put a stunt in that momentum that 11T really had going for them. Obviously, we are in the second half, so that has 11T on the offensive side. And we see right now as we have Parka moving on over to the A site. He's going to get the plant down, but they are at a player disadvantage. Wiro 6 kills on the board, Parka 6, Zai 6. The Trinity was there, but Nova able to make that rotation over. And it's now a lonely Zai versus 4 members of Nova. This matchup is not over, Bobby. We could still see a game 3 if 11T are able to close it out, but Nova are not going down without a fight.
And this is a little bit surprising. We've seen Zai pretty much all game long sticking with the shotgun close range options, and then when it gets to game point, he switches over to the sniper. I don't know if I love this play. We see him immediately taken out by Impulsive. Just didn't really have an option right there. Would love to see him kind of sticking to his guns. It's not like he's had a bad game either. Basically 4 of the 5 players for 11D had either 6 or 7 kills right now, so they've all been playing pretty solidly, and the B pushes have definitely been working. We do see him actually switching back to the shotgun right there, which I really do like to see. We are going to get trophies going down, smokes going down, nades going out. 11D completely in control of this B site, which they've done a really good job of defending so far. And with the bomb in the hands of Just and trophy systems down around the site, it's going to be an easy plant for them once again. They've done a really good job of defending this so far. Yuji does find the first blood. He gets traded out. Parrish finds one as well. Things looking good once again for Nova Invictus, as they do have 3 players in that mid area. Definitely a risky move, and it's going the way of 11T in a big way. Parka finds a double kill right there. Impulsive, the lone surviving Nova Invictus player, but not for very long. It will be 11D coming out on top, and that will push us to a game number 3.
And right from the start, this is really what we wanted. This is really what we expected. Yes, it makes the night longer, but we obviously want to bring to you guys the best possible content for some of the most important games of the season. The matchups here obviously decide who goes on to the semifinals and who is out until season 6. So there's really a lot riding on this for both of these teams. It's really hard to say who has an edge going into Domination. I would say, as far as respawns go, 11T are much stronger in Domination than they are in Hardpoint, but Nova pretty strong across the board in respawn and does suffer a bit in search and destroy. So no shock that 11T came through with a pretty dominating win in search and destroy, but there's still a lot on the table, especially when you look at that first matchup we had on Hardpoint. It started off looking really good for 11T, and then Nova really refined the rotations and were able to adapt on the fly on how the game was going, and it was able to bring them to a win. I think it was, 150 to 176 or something like that. So not a super one-sided win by any means, but they had a pretty sizable cushion ahead of them at least. Domination obviously plays a little bit different. Your anchor not quite as important as the hardpoint matchups, as the points are all static as opposed to dynamic, where hardpoint's moving around. So anchor will be important if you're trying to flip the map, but that's going to be more map preference versus map necessity. And it is going to be on Hackney Yard, one of our newest matches, or one of our newest maps to Mobile Mayhem. So hopefully these teams have been practicing, because this is where it counts.
Yeah, this will definitely be really, really interesting. Hackney, I feel like, is one of the maps that can swing very, very quickly, even when teams get like a 70, 100 point lead. You can really turn things around in a big way just by hitting your rotations on time, and also just based on how you use your score streaks and your operators. So there have been situations where we've seen operator use end up costing a team a game. They didn't use their operators in time and they ended up losing. That's going to be a really big factor in this matchup, and excited to see how each team manages it. We haven't had a ton of this throughout the season, especially for Domination. We've seen a good bit of Hackney Yard Hardpoint, but Domination games in general, we just haven't seen a whole lot of. So obviously, over the past 5 seasons of Mobile Mayhem, we've had plenty of games of firing range domination. That's definitely the most frequent one. This one is going to come down a lot to how much these teams have practiced on the map, and probably going to depend a lot on which team gets what I would consider to be strong side in the second half, as well as the rotation, I believe, from C side tends to be the weaker side in regards to domination, just because of the easy overlook from some of those higher angles. So we'll see which team ends up getting which, but definitely going to make for a great Game 3. And keep in mind, this is only our first matchup of the night. At least one of these teams will be playing again tonight in a best-of-5. So make sure you guys stick around for that.
Yeah, and just as you mentioned, Bobby, we haven't seen too much domination this season. One thing to note for domination, and obviously we're here in the quarterfinals. This is week 7. You guys are no strangers at this point to season 5 of Mobile Mayhem. We have no persistence, and that has been a deciding factor in previous seasons of Mobile Mayhem on how our domination matches went. So without that, when you do see these score streaks come through, they're hard-earned score streaks, but which score streaks players opt to use is also very map-dependent. With B being inside on Hackney Yard, it's inside that center building, there's a lot of cover where a Goliath could be really, really powerful for a team being able to hold down B, as opposed to things that we see on firing range more in the range of, we don't see too many cell choppers because they're pretty easy to shoot down, but things like the VTOL that have previously dominated, not a great choice for this map. There is obviously quite a bit of open map in the middle, but when you're looking at actually all of the points, there's a lot of cover. So Goliath, one of the strongest potential score streaks we could have come through here.
And it looks like for 11T, Zai actually might be disconnected off the start, so not a good sign for them. We're taking shots up at band. He will find a frag, and even with a player disconnected, it looks like 11T off to a pretty solid start. We're not quite able to find the frag right there, and wow, 3 players on the point right now for Nova Invictus. That is really good for them. Zai still has not returned to the game and going to just continue to feed the opposing team, hoping to see him reconnect in the feed. Band with 5 kills on the board, and Parka doing everything that he can as he does take out Parka right there. Nobody taking control of the B flag quite yet, and just going to slide into the top side right there. Really back and forth. Nova Invictus finally going to take control of that B site. And we do see Zai now back in play. Really good sign for 11T, even though you would not have wanted to see him disconnect off the start. Already up at 2 kills. Definitely a good sign for them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we do have pretty even game so far, but with such an early cap on B, this does give a lot of potential to the side of Nova. The longer that they can hold this in the first half, it gives them just a bigger cushion going into the second half. And it is comparatively to some of the open maps, a much easier B cap to hold. As I say that, Zai and Yuji run through with the shotguns, clear B out, and take it back almost immediately. And that was one of the strengths we talked about for 11T, is their versatility in switching to stuff that's off meta that functions a little bit better in circumstance, as opposed to this gun is good at go burr, you know? So really, really great use of the shotguns out of 11T here, and I think that gives them a big advantage in defending and recapping B at any point during this matchup. We do see Parrish with the Fennec out, not something we see too often, as well as Lewis. So I like that Nova are flexing to some of that short range, but with how close B is, I think the shotguns just always have the advantage here, even if you have that fast fire rate from the Fennec.
Yeah, and given that most people would typically consider this to be the weak side in domination, the fact that 11D was able to get any time on the B flag is really, really good for them. Like you said, their use of the quote-unquote off meta in the shotgun, even though most people wouldn't consider it to be part of the meta, just because of how effective it is alongside guns like the Fennec, which we haven't seen a whole lot earlier on in the season, but we do see 2 players over on Nova Invictus using it. Lewis and Parrish both pulling it out. Parrish going to get knocked off of his Annihilator immediately. definitely not a great sign for Nova Invictus. Wiru beaming Impulsive off the head glitch right there. They've got 4 players in and around the B site, but Band up top. He's got 13 kills and a War Machine to work with, make it 14 right there. He's going to single-handedly save that B cap, at least for the time being. And right now, he is dominating with his DRH up in the top side over by B.
Yeah, and right now we still have point control on B going over to the side of Nova. Still very, very close game thanks to 11T being able to make that rotation in earlier and pick up that cap onto B. They were almost able to do it again, but Envy with a big double kill there, as well as Parrish picking up a couple kills. That's going to stop the B cap. If 11T were able to get that cap and hold, they had a lot of potential to go into the second half at no disadvantage in score, but thanks to Nova's defense there, they're going to go into the second half with what, like a 27, 26 point lead. So not a massive gap, but definitely a little bit of a comfortable cushion that they can sit on, especially as Envy is able to make a pretty strong defense there. And yep, 27 point lead currently for Nova. Still anybody's game. And man, Band absolutely frying right now. 17 kills on the board. Unfortunately for 11T, we have so far seen Parka and Zai struggle quite a bit. QG coming through as strong as he can with the shotgun, but does lose out the range battle there as Impulsive just lasers 2 people down.
I mean, that was a full Nova Invictus victory right there, as I don't think 11D won a single gunfight on the way into the B flag, and Impulsive actually pushing all the way over to A. I'm not sure that was the right push right there. He's going to get taken out relatively easily by Parka, but like you said, Parka and Zai not having a great start, and a lot of frags going in for Nova Invictus. A lot of times, the position that's going to give you the advantage on this map is the top area on the backside of B. So we do see the War Machine going on out. Band able to shut down the push for the time being. Zai looking to make the push on in to try to finish off the cap of the B flag, and they need to get it soon if they're going to be able to comfortably hold right here. But Parrish finding a big double kill right there. Parka on the flank. Not able to land shots right there. That's actually a big miss for him, but he is able to round the corner. Takes out Lewis right here. Looks like they're going to be able to finish off the B flag, and that will be in enough time for them to just need to hold the double cap, but you got to keep in mind Envy on that backside. Inside of a Goliath, we got another Goliath marching in for Wiru right here. It's going to be a battle, and Wiru making his way in first, so he's got the position, doing a lot of damage to Envy right there, and just gonna get the FHJ. That is huge for 11T. They've got control of the B flag. They've got a Goliath in the bottom side that is going to be next to impossible to take out. And as I say it, we see a massive chunk of damage going in, but a lot of missed FHJ shots going to allow him to stay alive a little bit longer. They've got control, but don't know how long they're going to be able to hold it.
Yeah, still a very, very close game, and this is a big opportunity for 11T to turn things around. But if they lose this B cap, then it's going to become increasingly more and more difficult for them to turn things around. Parka does peek out and finds a kill there, but Envy waiting up top is able to return the trade. Impulsive also able to pick up the kill onto Wiru. We've got a half cap very momentarily in going for Nova. 11T, they've made the rotation back over. Zai winning that close range fight there, finds himself actually a triple kill defending B, is absolutely huge for 11T. But Nova, they are not going down without a fight here. They once again clear out B, they make their push in. Parka comes looking for the kill, unable to find it. And with a 20-point lead, Nova are able to flip B back in their favor. There is just non-stop gunfights happening over B right now, Bobby. This is absolutely insane. I'd actually like one of these teams to slow down a little bit more, get your regroup, and then make a push as a team to try to lock that down.
And we do have 11D retaking B right here. I don't think that they need the triple cap right yet, and we do have to keep in mind time is one thing that does tend to become a constraint, especially as we do get closer to the end right here. But just like that, Nova Invictus able to retake B pretty much immediately right there, and that is a really bad sign for 11. Only a minute and 27 seconds remaining. Very nearly giving up the A cap as well. If that happens, it's a guaranteed victory for Nova Invictus. Lewis getting a little bit of extra time right here. He's going to take out Wiru. That could very well end up being a triple cap, and actually it's going to be the double cap going in. We have a really odd flip going in right here as 11 ends up taking the C flag as the A flag's taken. Impulsive sliding the top side right here. It's absolute chaos. Nova Impulsive finds another one. It looks like they're going to be able to take the B cap back for themselves. And that will all but secure the victory for Nova Invictus, as they now lead by about 20 points, and it's going to require a triple cap. Even with a triple cap, I don't know if 11 has enough time to get the win right here. They're trying all that they can to make something happen, but just not enough map control, not enough time. 30 seconds remain. 23-point lead for Nova Invictus. They've got it all, and right now it looks like they have secured themselves a spot in the semifinals, as they do end up taking out 11. 3 points remain as they look to close this one out.
Yeah, this is a really, really big statement from Nova Invictus here, who again started off the season really, really rocky. They were having struggles with their team synergy. They were having struggles with their roster overall, figuring out who was gonna start, who was going to, realistically, even remain on the team at the early stages. They picked up Impulsive halfway through the season. That has so far worked out really, really well for them. And this is a team that went from the beginning where we honestly thought that they were going to come through and just have a strong performance. It was a team of all players that were already on phone. They didn't struggle shouldn't have struggled as much with that transition, because obviously we have players on other teams that were having to switch devices. And we were like, man, this is not what we expected out of this team. This is not how we expected things to go for them. This is not how we heard the scrims were going. And then, man, after week 2, it was just uphill. They just kept climbing. They kept putting the work in, and they earned their spot in the quarterfinals, and they came through with a strong gameplay today and earned their spot in the semifinals.
Yeah, definitely a great performance from them, especially given how dominant 11 was in game number 2. They were in pretty solid control, and we typically expect them to be the better domination team. Nova has been really, really good in respawns, but taking a look at the stats, 10 flag caps for Parrish, 11 for Lewis, 9 for Band. If you look over at 11, we did have, I believe Yuji actually ended up quitting, but Parka had 8. Nobody else outside of him had more than 3, and you can see just the dedication to continuing to push in. The team pushes for the flag caps, I think, really were the difference makers. You don't get that amount of flag caps in a game that close without everybody pushing at the same time, and it definitely seemed like the team synergy was there more for Nova Invictus. They do end up coming out on top, and that will allow them to move into the semifinals, which are going to be happening later tonight. So, taking a look at our schedule, next up we do have Nova Imperium versus Zygnus. It is going to be NL Esports versus Nova Invictus in our first semifinals game. That's going to be a best of 5. This is definitely, based on the fact that game number 1 took an hour, it's going to be a long night ahead of us, but I'm looking forward to it. Nova Imperium versus Zygnus. The winner of that will be going up against Tribe Gaming in our final match of the night. So we still got a lot more action ahead of us.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I think we should, at least in our downtime here between these two matchups, as we get ready for Imperium versus Zygnus, we can at least bounce through the rookie of the split, which I think is, I honestly think it's a pretty accurate list.
Yeah, I would agree with it. What were our nominees for rookie of the split? I'm trying to remember.
Fish, Washi, Parrish.
A couple other people. Those are the only ones that matter. Yeah, we do have coming in at the number 3 spot. So, like Dave said, Parrish, Washi, and Fish, top 3 vote getters. At number 3, we do have Parrish for Nova Invictus coming in with 11 votes. Coming in at second, drum roll please, Washi with 19 votes, which means, Washi with 17 votes. Which means Fish from NL Esports, 35 votes. Doubled up on the number 2 person. And in my opinion, absolutely deserving of it. Has been a really big role player for them. They've been the number 1 point getter throughout the entire Mobile Mayhem season. And NL Esports would not be in that spot without Fish playing the role that he has.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, we've said it multiple times throughout the season it's honestly impressive how easy NL makes it look to just find talent that can come through and seem just openly like they've been playing with the team forever, that they've been ready to compete at this level. And definitely a rookie of the split, well earned for Fish there. So congratulations, Fish, Washi, and Parrish for your guys' Rookie of the Split nominations. And again, I think it's a pretty accurate list. I agree.
Yep, I like the, and this is the list that the players have voted on. So we do still have the fan voting going on. I believe you guys can vote on that right now. And we'll probably go over that in Thursday night's announcements and everything else. But yeah, I mean, Fish that came in and just played the entire season like a veteran. Now we'll see whether or not he's able to continue that through the semifinals and potentially the finals, as NL will be looking to move there. But just a lot of composure. Chat, quit telling me I need a haircut. Don't tell me how to live my life. Just because I need a haircut doesn't mean I should get a haircut. Okay? Anyways, we got our players getting loaded in.
You can look forward to the mustache that I'm doing for the finals. I promise you guys the mustache. Finals day is the day we're doing the mustache.
And for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, unfortunately, the announcement did have to be delayed another day. So it's going to be actually on Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I apologize for the second delay on that. But I promise you, this is the final one, and we'll have a lot to go along with it. So I'm excited for that. And we get to have it on the same day as Mobile Mayhem Finals. So it's just all around going to be a fantastic day. And just going to be a great day of Call of Duty. We are still waiting. We'll take a look at the brackets real quick, just so you guys can get a better visual picture. Obviously, Nova Invictus moving on to face NL Esports. And right now we're waiting for Nova Imperium to get loaded in, the winner of these two teams. Going to end up moving on to the semifinals to face Tribe Gaming. And even for the teams that do lose there, they'll have a shot at winning some of that $2,500 prize pool in the bronze matchup, which will be our first game on Thursday night. We'll go ahead and take a look at our maps and our bans. So actually, no ban on the Arctic 50, which is a little bit surprising to see. Bans on the Man-O-War and the DRH. Nova Imperium electing to ban Hardpoint on Crash. Zygnus banning Search and Destroy on Standoff. So that means game number 1 is going to be Standoff Hardpoint, followed by Raid, Search, and Destroy. And if we go to a game number 3, number 1, it's going to be an extra long night tonight. And number 2, it is going to be on Firing Range Domination. Always a classic. So we got that to look forward to as well if the matchup takes us there.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. And the reason I put, when you asked me at the beginning of the stream, Bobby, when you asked me, what's your most exciting matchup for the night? Obviously, we didn't have semifinals, so it was the last matchup or this one. The reason I gave 11T versus Invictus the edge is because we knew right from the start, based off of how the season went, that was going to be a close game. And sure enough, it came down to the wire. A 25-30 point difference in the domination matchup, almost I mean, well, we ran out the clock. So, I mean, it boiled right down to the last seconds of that matchup. This matchup, there's a little bit more about both teams to be said, and that Nova Imperium, they have a really weird circumstance, right? Where they can sometimes be their own biggest threat. In that we quite often see them either underestimate teams or maybe a better way to put it is try experimental team strategies out at the wrong time. So hopefully they'll bring their A game here because they're a team that definitely deserves this spot. They're a team that definitely has the skill to compete and can go on to the semifinals. Looking over at the side of Zygnus, it is really, really interesting because Zygnus has massively, massively struggled with their consistency. They have really phenomenal players, specifically looking at the likes of Bear and S-Thug. And when they bring their A game, we know that they can compete with the best. They are the only team that beat Tribe in an actual matchup. Yes, we had Tribe lose some matches due to DQ / forfeits, but the only team that actually pushed Tribe to a domination matchup throughout a majority, I think the whole season, up until just this last week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I have to double check my numbers. So they're really a team that you want to see do well. When you see Zygnus come to the table, you want to see them bring that A game, and they struggle a little bit with it. So that's where I kind of teeter this. If Zygnus brings their A game and Imperium slacks a little bit, or again tries some experimental things at the wrong time, we absolutely could see what I would consider to be an upset, and Zygnus could be the team to move on. Pulling up last scores real quick.
Yeah. I mean, especially considering the fact that we don't have a banned Arctic 50 and the number of players that we've seen have crazy games with the Arctic 50. We've seen it from S-Thug, we've seen it from Bear, we've seen it from Ninja. We do occasionally see it for some Nova Imperium players, but not nearly as much as we do for Zygnus. So you got to think that that's probably going to be one of the bigger factors that we do have to look at. And let me make sure I've got all... we do have everybody squared away, I think. We're just waiting for one more Zygnus player to get loaded in. I am very much hoping that we do not have a 4v5 because you would really hate to see that in the quarterfinals. But that's also something that we've seen from Zygnus in the past this season, is struggling to have all their players show up, even though we know they've got that raw talent, the ability to pull off the upset, the only team to take a map from Tribe Gaming. At the same time, you got to have a disciplined team that's able to make it to the matchup. So right now, our admin's readying up, and hopefully we will get the final Zygnus member loaded in soon so that we can hop into game number 1, which is going to be Hardpoint Standoff.
As far as I'm looking, I believe Zygnus was the only team to actually beat Tribe in Search and Destroy. We did have a game 3, but I think that was, if I remember correctly, that might have been a Tribe not submitting screenshots.
Yeah,
Game 3.
I think that was actually in game number 1. We ended up playing game 3, and then they ended up forfeiting that one as well, if I remember correctly.
No, I think it was up against the Trovo Mayhem. I think Tribe had won the 2-0 but didn't have screenshots.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And Zygnus actually beat Tribe in Search and Destroy and almost beat Tribe in a 4v5 in Hardpoint.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That was crazy.
Yep. Very, very close game for the disadvantage.
Yeah. We do have Jingo getting loaded in for Zygnus, so that gives them 5 players. And hopefully not too much more time before we are good to go for the start of match 3.
Hopefully we'll be getting in here for you guys pretty soon. Obviously we have this exciting matchup ahead of us. the most exciting part, obviously, is seeing who is going to go on to the semifinals, and then from there, obviously, potentially the finals or the third place matchup. The winner of this match has the really unfortunate circumstance of having to face off against Tribe. Again, potentially the strongest team in the season. Again, however, I will give that Nova Imperium. They tend to take things a little bit more seriously when it comes to the finals week of Mobile Mayhem season. What's the word I want to look for? I guess throughout multiple seasons, they tend to bring their A game to finals. So they have that going for them. And again, Cygnus, a team that almost beat the undefeated team in the league, but struggles with consistency. So a lot of this is going to ride on what Cygnus shows up today. And I honestly think that Imperium are prepared to take their matchup here seriously. I think this is potentially going to be just as good of a matchup as the first one. But if Cygnus aren't on top of their game today, then it could be a very quick 2-0 for Imperium.
Yep. Zim, everybody's ready. There we go. We're good to go. And you got to keep in mind, Nova Imperium has the reigning MVP of Mobile Mayhem in Forsaken, who, even though between last season and this season has made the switch to phone, has also had one of the biggest performances, if not the biggest performance we've seen so far in Mobile Mayhem, with a 53-kill game. So definitely got to keep an eye on him. He's one of those players that can really pop off at any point in time. And I think he's also technically a reigning champion. And, of course, my game decides to crash the worst time possible, so you can take away the commentating.
Yeah, Forsaken, well, there's no game going on, Bobby. Don't you worry. There's no game going on.
Oh. Wait, what happened?
3 players of Cygnus left, 4 players of Cygnus left, 5 players of Cygnus left, so you get a mulligan, sir.
I get the pass. All right. Well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely expect to see big things out of Forsaken here. As you mentioned, he is a previous champion from Season 4. He's a repeat MVP player in the player voting from, I think, Season 3 and Season 4, if I remember correctly. So definitely a lot of talent. Obviously, the likes of High and Swag, they are no unfamiliar names to the Mobile Mayhem scene. Swag, one of the best snipers in the league. I mean, season after season, he has an impact. And unfortunately for Imperium, when he doesn't have an impact, the team usually doesn't have an impact. So a lot of this could potentially ride on what type of day Swag is having as well. So again, both of these teams, you hope that they show up today. You hope that they bring their best. You hope that everybody's playing in the best conditions they have individually, so that they can play better as a team. And I would, as late as this night looks like it's going, Bobby, I'm totally down for it. Right? If the matchups are going to be good, I'm down for game 3 here. Not a problem. So bring your best, guys. Give us the best competition you can.
Yep, I think we'll have everybody squared away in a second right here. And like you guys know, these are 2 teams that they're not new, but these players playing on phone is relatively new. The majority of them have been tablet players previously, so a lot of them probably not having the same performances that we've seen them have in past seasons, but still absolutely improving in leaps and bounds, especially when you think about Forsaken struggled a good bit at the beginning of the season, but at the same time had been playing on tablet for a really long time, so did not take him a whole lot of time to start to speed up. He's played really good. Wally, we saw even in the quarterfinals of last season, initially making that switch and already making some really big improvements. And like you said, Swag, one of those players that we've always got to keep an eye on, and more than likely...
I'm just noticing no Swag right now.
Yeah, we've seen him sub in a few times for the Search and Destroy following Hardpoint. So that's something that I expect to see. And a lot of times they'll typically base that off of just who's having the better game. Typically it does end up being bye-bye getting subbed out, but We'll see if he does make an appearance in game number 2 as we do get ready to hop in soon. Says, get a new iPad. Yeah, that's definitely the issue, given that I'm watching on my emulator on my expensive gaming computer. Thanks for the advice, Chief.
Fortunately, I don't think it's anything on your end, Bobby. I don't think your computer is dying quite like mine is.
Yeah.
I think it's just sometimes technology bugs out. Probably on the emulator end, not your PC end.
If my computer's dying, then I need to get a refund because this thing is less than a year old. I know computers die faster than other things, but gotta give me more than a year out of it. Speaking of time, when are these players gonna ready up? We already had everybody in the game already.
We have it. We have a potential issue.
Oh.
Well, that's unique. Take it away, Bobby.
Okay, so
not a great way to start.
A kill was scored on Zygnus and they left. Did the game start?
The game started.
Oh.
And yeah, a couple of them left, and I don't know.
Okay, so you guys didn't get to see this because my emulator ended up crashing. But once a kill has been scored, players cannot leave the game. Now, Zygnus claimed that one of their players disconnected and they all left the lobby. That was following the initial kill going in. So because the entire team left the lobby following the initial kill, Zygnus is actually going to end up forfeiting game number 1. The win will go to Nova Imperium, and that's going to automatically put us in game number 2, which is going to be Raid Search and Destroy, where Nova will already have a 1-0 lead.
Not a great way for Zygnus to start. But that does violate rule 8.4, stoppage of play. So if you do have a player disconnect that requires leaving, you have to get approval from administration first, and you're also supposed to just chill. You're not supposed to be playing for the win at that point.
Yeah.
Seems like a little bit of a gray area, but the rule is the rule.
Yep. Does look like everybody's good to go for game number 2. So lots of pressure on for Zygnus right here, but we know they've got a lot of sniper power, and keep in mind Swag not hopping in for Nova Imperium right here. So apparently this also happened in Challengers twice, so these teams know the rules, and it happened anyway. But we got everybody in here ready to go. Should be hopping in to game number 2 right about now.
We are in. Hopefully we don't have any more issues. Definitely not the way we wanted to start off this matchup. Now we definitely have to see a game 3. Just like to point that out, Zygnus, you got to step it up here.
Yep.
Against one of the better search and destroy teams in the league.
We do see High overlooking the pool side wall. You're going to find first blood onto S-Thug right there. The Arctic 50, as expected, playing a big role. Jingo finally able to get first blood for Zygnus, but he's going to take a good chunk of damage right there. Finally taken out by Hex. It's a 2v3 right here, as we do have Zygnus once again down a man. Ninja with Arctic 50 ACOG in hand. Bear finds a frag onto Forsaken. Is a 2v2, and players set up in ring should provide a pretty easy opportunity for Zygnus to make that counter rotation on over to the A site. As you can see, players still set up, but a couple making the rotation on that top side over toward A for Nova Imperium right here. That is going to be Hex now up in that bank room area, and Ninja trying to make his way on over. Hex right now probably just trying to gather some information, High aware of the rotation as well, Trophy system's going to go down, as is the bomb. Ninja with the bomb in hand will be able to safely get the plant, and the pressure is on for this Nova Imperium team. High with the sniper in hand, trying to find a pick. He's making the rotation, has the angle onto Bear, not going to be able to hit the initial shot. Time dwindling once again. Hag's taking some shots right there, but he's going to win the gunfight. It's now a 2v1. Ninja going to be the only player remaining, but he's got the Arctic 50 ACOG. Not going to be enough to stop Hag's 3 kills in round number 1 for him. And a 1-0 lead alongside the round 1 win. Nova Imperium looking good off the start.
Yeah, Hack's having a heck of a round there, Bobby. I mean, Hax is a great player. Hands down, great player. He's obviously a repeat player for a couple different teams in Mobile Mayhem. He's usually not the top fragger, right? He's usually just kind of a stable, in-the-middle anchor you can rely on to do okay, to do well. 4 kills on the board for him, round 2, pretty uncommon to see from him. And if Hax is going to come out of the gate with 5 kills,
man,
this is very, very likely, if he's going to continue to play like this, going to be a Nova Imperium 2-0 victory as they once again walk through the likes of Zygnus, picking up the 2-0 lead. And man, Hax has brought his A game to the table here today.
Yeah, right now nothing really going the way of Zygnus, as they do end up having to forfeit game number 1, and nobody above 2 kills so far. Hex pushing really aggressively through to Cabana right here. He's got a lot of angles and a lot of information for his teammates. Oh my gosh, what a push for Zygnus. They're all in the mid area. Hex is going to find kill number 1. Continuing to go in, finally taken out by S-Thug right there. Immediately, the trade goes in for both teams. 3 players remain, and Zygnus finally not at a disadvantage, but the bomb is down over in that Cabana area. We are going to see Ninja making the rotation on through and picking up the bomb right there. S-Thug set up back here. Wally taking some damage, immediately able to regen. It's going to be Ninja all by himself. Is yet to find a kill, and he's stuck in a 1v3 in a really tight space. Not a great spot, and nobody for Nova really needs to make any type of a push, as the pressure's on him to go for the plant. He's waiting for the push, but obviously waiting for something that is not going to be happening. So we do see this Nova team pretty content to sit back. High, Wally in place with their snipers. Bye-bye, just waiting to give some information to his teammates, and Ninja now finally looking like he might make the rotation on over to the B site, and actually going to top modern right here. He's not got a whole lot of time to work with, only 30 seconds, probably waiting a little bit too long. Tried to land the jump shot onto High, and now going to be forced into a risky push right here with 20 seconds remaining. High working that bomb head glitch. Bye-bye on the backside of the wall. Information's been given, and now the push is going to be next to impossible. High slides the corner. He's going to be able to land the shot. It's going to be a 3-0 lead for Nova Imperium.
Yeah, big games for Nova Imperium here. They got that free win in the what would have been the Hardpoint matchup. So if they're able to close this out, it'll be a 2-0 victory. And what's really unfortunate for Zygnus here is if we were going to see them win the series, it had to start in Hardpoint. Nova Imperium, again, when they take things seriously, they are one of the best search and destroy teams in the entire tournament. So, was not counting on Zygnus to win the search and destroy in the first place. You got to figure there's definitely a little bit of mental aspect going on right now, in the sense that they had to forfeit the first match. So that is something that they really need to push past at this point. They have a player advantage this time around. Make it 2 as S-Thug slides the corner there and is able to pick up a kill. S-Thug finding another Bear coming through with the kill on the Forsaken. Not everything we need to see out of Zygnus. They need to continue this momentum going forward, and it's definitely going to be a tough one with a 2-round deficit right now. But Zygnus definitely came alive there. S-Thug making the way, making things possible for the team, as well as Bear. 6 kills on the board for him, tying up with the likes of Hax over on Nova Imperium. So there's still a lot of game ahead of us, Bobby.
Yeah, we see a really aggressive A push once again for Zygnus right here. Ninja set up in the top side. Trophy systems going down. No first blood. S-Thug going to be able to get the plant right here. Bear finds Hex off the start. Another big one is Hex has been really, really crucial for this Nova Imperium team. With the bomb down, 2 players down for Nova Imperium. The advantage is in the hands of Zygnus. Still, Ninja and Adapt have not yet found any kills, but Bear already with 8 on the board, moving into that top spot pretty easily, and S-Thug content to sit back, relay that information. Forsaken's made his way up into the bomb site. Bye-Bye finds a frag as well. Trades going in. It's going to be alone. Bye-Bye not able to make anything happen right there. S-Thug is waiting in the backside of the cabana, 2 rounds in a row, going on over to Zygnus.
That's really good signs of life from Zygnus. Unfortunately, signs of life only coming out of 3 players right now. Adapt and Ninja unable to find any sort of momentum. Looks like we potentially could have some connection issues for Adapt. I've seen him disconnect and reconnect several times throughout today. Jingo getting dropped very early there, but they trade out for Forsaken, which to me I think is a pretty solid trade if you are Zygnus. Bear absolutely rocking it at this point. 8 kills on the board for him. And do have the B bomb plant coming out of Bye-Bye. That's going to give them an opportunity to start setting up their defenses. And still anybody's round, but Bear able to find the pick onto high. Wally does trade back, and I think that's a pretty good trade for Nova. They do lose out on high, but they lose out on essentially the best player, or at least for right now, of Zygnus. Bye-Bye finding a couple shots to miss there, but able to cripple them enough for Wally to pick up the kill. 4-2 lead now for the side of Nova Imperium. They're poised in a really, really phenomenal position to close this thing out.
Yeah, Hex had a really big round there as well. Was 1 HP, but managed to regen, finds a double kill, and Nova Imperium able to take that one pretty easily. We got a good counter push from Zygnus right here, but 1 player dropping off the start. Wally's going to be able to find him. The double kill does go in. Trades left and right. 3 players apiece. Hex going to get taken out. It's now a 2v2, but S-Thug's going to drop Bear all by himself versus the 2 remaining Nova Imperium players, and it looks like they should be able to pick up the bomb if they play this correctly. Forsaken, they're playing pretty passively, and right now just kind of watching the bomb up in that top side. They're going to be able to make the push up, picking it up right here and making the rotation back on over to B. Bear has been huge for Zygnus so far. 9 kills through the first 7 rounds. He's got the angle. What a shot onto Wally. Could not have played that any more perfectly, and now he's in a 1v1. The bomb is down for Forsaken, so the pressure's on, but he's in the spot where he needs to be. Forsaken trying to work that bomb, or work the Lambo head glitch, but not going to be able to land the shot. And now Bear has the opportunity to make the rotation, but Forsaken once again on the head glitch on that top side. Not going to be able to land the shot. Forsaken, the clutch play right there. And it is Nova Imperium now 1 round away from moving on to the semifinals.
It's definitely what you'd expect and what you'd like to see out of a repeat MVP and a Season 4 champion. So Forsaken, who's not leading the team right now, obviously Hax and Wally carrying the top bit of weight, but everybody on Imperium across the board doing pretty solid right now. So Forsaken finding a strong clutch for the team. It puts them at match point at this point. S-Thug able to pick up the kill there. We do have a 2-player advantage for the side of Zygnus, so what was looking really good for Nova may once again be falling over to the side of Zygnus. And what is the scope that Bye-Bye has on the Fennec here?
He's currently... Well, I don't see any scope on it.
Maybe I'm getting a glitch.
It could potentially be a glitch. And
something is really weird about that.
Yeah, we do have Zygnus staying alive a little bit longer. Bear finds a couple big kills once again. 2 for him in that round. No, it was the Fennec. From my perspective, it was. But 12 kills so far for him, trying to do everything he can. Adapt and Ninja finally able to find a couple, but high, perfectly timed the jump shot right there. It is going to be 2 frags going in for Zygnus off the start. High trying to find the nade kill, but not in the right spot. And they're trying to apply that pressure over the A site. S-Thug is waiting. AK-117 in hand. What a shot onto Forsaken right there. Easy kill for him. And now Nova Imperium going to be forced back into spawn. They want to close this out right here. They definitely don't want to be forced into a game number 3. And High trying his best to make sure that does not happen, but he's not able to land the shots onto S-Thug. Zygnus able to stay alive yet another round right here, and that'll move us to 5-4.
Yeah, I mean, Zygnus are not going down without a fight here. It would still be a battle for them to pull through a win. They need to find 2 rounds, and they really cannot afford to make a mistake at this point. So, Zygnus, we're hoping you play your best here. I'd love to see you guys push us to a game 3, especially after the error in Hardpoint, or what would have been the Hardpoint matchup. So we will have to see. I mean, again, everybody on the side of Nova playing absolutely phenomenal right now. 1 player advantage, still very doable, especially as Bear picks up kill 13 onto High. Bear absolutely just rocking it. And one thing I will note is S-Thug in the past for Zygnus has been the primary sniper. So Bear picking it up, S-Thug opting out for the AR here. And right now, I'd say working out for Zygnus. I mean, 13 kills on Bear is absolutely nothing to sleep on.
Yeah, S-Thug's been forced out of that A site. Going to send the nade over top. Probably trophy system waiting on the back side. Actually, no trophy system over there. It looks like Zygnus was waiting for Adapt to reconnect. He's able to do it right there. And S-Thug now looking to make the push down into the bomb site. Hacks with a well-placed smoke, but it's not going to be in time to keep S-Thug out of the bomb site. The slide peek going to go in, but not enough to win the gunfight. He gets an RPG kill. That's huge. It's now a 1v1. Ninja versus Forsaken right here. Forsaken inside the cabana, waiting for the defuse to go in. He plays it perfectly. I think he's been able to play time well enough that there's not enough time for Ninja to close things out right here. That could not have been played any better, and Nova Imperium going to come out on top as they will take that alongside the forfeit in game number 1 and move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, really, really big round for actually a couple clutch rounds for Forsaken there that really helped push Nova into this win. I mean, again, we gave them the edge. They are one of the stronger search and destroy teams in the entire league. I mean, I think shy of Tribe, they might have the best search and destroy record in the league. Tribe, obviously, the only search and destroy they lost as far as games actually played was up against Zygnus. So Zygnus aren't a bad search and destroy team. Just Nova Imperium are consistently a good search and destroy team. And that, unfortunately, for Zygnus is going to be a 2-0 defeat. And Nova Imperium will be moving on to face against Tribe in the semifinals. So we do have both of our semifinal matchups now for you guys. It will be NL versus Nova Invictus, and Tribe up against Zygnus as well.
Yeah, and consistency was really the name of the game for Nova Imperium right there. That's the thing about search and destroys. You can have one player that's dominating, but if they get taken out early on, it hurts you a lot more in that specific round. You can see nobody below 6 kills for Nova Imperium, and a pretty big spread for Zygnus as they were really heavily dependent on S-Thug and Baron. When those players dropped off, it was just really, really tough for them to close out the round. And definitely the way that Nova Imperium needed to play that one to come away with the win. Keep in mind, guys, that wasn't even the last of the best games of the night. That was the last of the quarterfinals. We still got the semifinals ahead of us, and they're going to be
best of 5 as well.
They're going to be a blast to watch. NL Esports versus Nova Invictus in a best of 5. Tribe Gaming for Nova versus Nova Imperium. Nova Imperium has been known in the past as, I guess Tiny Tribe was technically Arsenal, but a lot of overlap between those two teams, and definitely a little bit of a rivalry. Excited to watch that one. We will take a look at the bracket as well, and that'll give us the full picture for what we've got for the rest of tonight into Thursday. Obviously, NL Esports versus Nova Invictus. Winner moves on to the finals. Loser moves to the bronze game. Tribe versus Nova Imperium, winner finals, loser bronze game. Definitely excited to watch that one. I think since that is going to be it for match number 2, we are going to run through the awards for our second award, which is going to be Marksman of the Split. So I will let Day take that one away.
Oh boy, let me jump on over and pull that one up real quick. This one, while I'm going to go ahead and throw my 2 cents in here. I don't disagree that these 3 players are all deserving of top 3. I'm a little iffy on the order, right? So we'll start at the bottom for Sniper of the Split. We had A-Flows coming in 3rd. A-Flows of Tribe, obviously, with 10 votes. Washi came through in 2nd place with 19 votes. Washi, obviously, from 8 Kings. And Fish coming through for NL with 24 votes. So that is Fish with Rookie of the Split as well as Marksman of the Split. So congratulations, Fish, and congratulations, A-Flows and Washi, on your guys' big sniping performance.
So what was your preferred order for that one?
I absolutely don't think Washi is a bad sniper. First of all, I'm going to throw that out there right now. I do not think Washi is a bad sniper, but based on a season of performance, I think A-Flows should be in that number 2 spot.
I would agree with that. I think
consistently good sniper for Tribe all season long.
Yeah, it's just tough to give the number 2 spot to somebody that was only in there for half the season. And while Washi did make some really crazy plays
against Tribe,
yeah, definitely made some crazy plays at the same time. You do have to give credit for the consistency. And we saw Washi struggle a little bit with the consistency. He had those really big performances where he completely carried the team. But at the same time, there were some matchups where he struggled and barely made it into the top 3. So you gotta take that into account. And A-Flow's one of the primary snipers for a team that only dropped 1 map throughout the entire season. So you got to give Tribe the respect that they're due. And I think it's similar to how you typically view awards in regular sports. Like, yes, might be a really, really good player, but if they're not on a winning team, then you got to take into account the impact that somebody else might have had on a winning team without maybe quite as flashy of a performance. And I think for that reason alone, you do have to give A-Flows a lot of respect. But at the same time, I would say Fish is deserving of the number 1 spot, and at the end of the day, that's the one that counts.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, again, nobody is trying to diss Washi here and say he doesn't deserve the 2nd spot. Just, if you're only here for half the season, it's a little bit sketchy. I do think part of this could be also that the players mostly base off of when they played against a team, when they played against players versus, us and the viewers are watching every single game. So we may put a season long of matchups as more weight, as opposed to the players look at an individual matchup that they played against that team and been like, man, Washi destroyed. So definitely you just have to keep in mind the difference of perspective.
For sure. We've got Nova Invictus getting loaded in right now, waiting for NL Esports. I believe Tatio was streaming leading up to this, and typically pretty much the entire roster of NL does typically stream leading up to their game, so they'll probably be getting loaded in pretty soon here. We'll take a look at the maps and bans, and this is going to be a best of 5. So this is the first time that we've actually looked at this screen for the entire season. As far as gun bans, pretty much the standard. Arctic 50 and Man of War both going to be banned. It's a best of 5. Each team is allowed to ban 2 maps. So NL Esports banning Hardpoint on Hackney Yard and Domination on Summit. Nova Invictus banning Hardpoint on Scrapyard and Search and Destroy on Firing Range. So that means the order of play is going to be Crash Hardpoint for game number 1. Standoff, Search, and Destroy for game number 2. Because it's a best of 5, we're automatically going to be going to a game 3, which is going to be Firing Range Domination. If we go to it, Summit, Hardpoint for game number 4. And last but not least, if we go to it, Crossfire, Search, and Destroy for game number 5.
It definitely should be a really exciting matchup. I mean, obviously both of these teams coming out of Division 1. This was a incredibly tight division. I mean, Trovo Mayhem got knocked out of the top 3 by a difference of 20 points or 25 points between 4th place and 1st place. So very close between these two teams. They bounced back and forth a lot over the season. I think for a while there, NL was sitting at 3rd place, and Invictus were bouncing back and forth between 1st and 2nd. NL ended up finishing in 1st at the end of the season, so they got their bye in the quarterfinals. Invictus had a really tough matchup against Eleventy, who's another one of those teams that the top 4 just changed every single week, the order. So Invictus really deserved this spot. They really deserve this opportunity. In our previous matchup between these two teams, I was looking at it earlier. I believe NL did win a 2-0 victory. I just want to make sure before I give you guys wrong information. Where did it go? I just had it saved here.
I see a lot of people commenting in chat. We were not dissing Washi at all. Us saying that A-Flows deserves respect for his performance, not to take anything away from the fact that Washi came in middle of the season with a team that was probably not where they need to be and had some really crazy games. So he's absolutely one of the top snipers, absolutely one of the top rookies. I'm just saying you got to give respect where respect is due when this guy's been the top sniper for the team that has only dropped 1 map throughout the entire season.
Yeah, and NL did beat Nova Invictus last time around in a 2-0 victory. Just to touch on what I was getting at earlier, I just wanted to double check. So this is kind of a rivalry in the sense of, hey, in week 4 we faced each other in NL1. Invictus were just kind of really starting to get their bearings together at that point as far as their team went. I think this will probably be a much closer matchup than we saw the last time we saw these two teams face off. The main area that I really think we could see Invictus struggle here is in that sniper department, especially since we didn't see anybody snipe for them in match 1 up against Eleventy. I mean, I think maybe for 1 round we saw Lewis with a sniper out, and then very quickly switched off of that. So up against the likes of Cheto, a repeat player, or a repeat marksman of the split, a repeat MVP, and then Fish, a player that came through, got himself the player voted rookie of the split, his player voted marksman of the split. There's a lot of sniping potential here on the side of NL. So kind of similar to the Eleventy matchup with Nova. If Nova are going to win this, they really need to put their effort forward in Hardpoint and potentially Domination if it goes to a game 3, because the cards are heavily stacked against them for a Search and Destroy matchup.
Yeah. Appreciate the raids from Tatio, Fish, and Envoy. I'm assuming you guys probably already heard, but in case you didn't, Fish did end up winning not only Rookie of the Split, but also Marksman of the Split. We have not yet announced the MVP. We'll be announcing that one following this matchup. And for those of you just now joining, it is going to be a best of 5. I'll go ahead and run through that real quick, just as a refresher for the people that are just now joining us. Bans on the Man of War in the Arctic 50. Order of maps is going to be Crash, Hardpoint, Standoff, Search and Destroy, Firing Range Domination, Summit, Hardpoint, and Crossfire, Search and Destroy. So we do have everybody loaded in for both teams, good to go. NL Esports did end up coming out on top in their matchup earlier on in the season, and as the top point getter, not too surprising right there, but this Nova Invictus team has improved a ton throughout the season and definitely deserves to be in this spot, especially with their ability to take out Eleventy in that quarterfinal matchup. And we just started the game when Envoy had left, so I'm assuming probably everybody going to be leaving, and they are.
Well, we got a second of downtime here. Maybe I can convince Zim to maybe do some translations in the chat for us on Fish winning MVP, or I mean, Rookie of the Split and Sniper of the Split. Just for all of the Spanish-speaking viewers that we had come through with those raids.
Yeah, and we do have Papa Taco, who is kind of a late season addition for NL, but has been really good for them. Another player that specializes in that sniper role, but at the same time can really frag out in the respawns too. So you got to think Nova Invictus might have a little bit of an advantage right here, just having the opportunity to have that warm-up game. More than likely, all these NL players were playing prior to this, but maybe not quite the same level of competition for their warm-up, so we'll see if that does end up coming into play. But we do actually have everybody in here now and get to go for game number 1.
Thank you, Zim, for your spam. Appreciate it, bud. And we are getting into the game. We have a full team of players on both sides this time around. And yeah, again, Bobby, I think if we hope at all to see a win coming out of Invictus here, I mean, I obviously am not picking sides, but just stating out that Nova need to shine here in this respawn matchup. If they lose Hardpoint, I don't see the rest of this series going incredibly well for them. NL been a incredibly consistent team season after season. Obviously, the likes of Fish being an absolute madman, definitely going to make it an uphill battle for them, but they have the potential. They fought hard for this spot. We see them filling up the feed a little bit there. Slight point advantage for the side of NL currently, but Hardpoint 1 on Crash is never really a one-sided Hardpoint unless if the whole map is going to be one-sided. A lot of respawns, very easy to get an angle to get a shot over there, to get frag grenades over there. Obviously, a lot of times we see teams fighting for control over the 3-story, and that has been a lot of what has happened so far, as we see 12 to 23 off of Hardpoint 1, as we just had a couple players obviously poking on there, trying to get some trickle points, while the remainder of the team fought over the second Hardpoint. We do have Tatio on Hardpoint. It's going to be some time starting to tick over to the side of NL. And NL have a really strong defense set up here. Tatio actually did take a couple bullets making that rotation there, but he is going to live. Picks up the kill there. Raven also helping fill up the feed. Another player that NL were able to pick up and has had a great performance for them. I mean, triple kill there for him. Fish picking up a couple more kills, and Hardpoint control remains unquestionably in control of NL, and this is not a great start for Nova, but in their first matchup against 11T, they also had a pretty rocky start, and they very quickly were able to adapt and turn things around, so potentially could see the same thing happen here. Just they're up against a little more consistent of a team, and that is kind of my fear for them.
Yeah, we do see NL taking a pretty sizable lead off the start. A little scrap time going in for Nova Invictus, but not enough to make a huge impact right here. Band actually going to get beamed off the head glitch right there. That is not a good sign for Nova Invictus. Now, one thing we are going to need to keep an eye on, we do actually have Raven for NL with a UAV in his inventory. Now, UAVs are banned from competitive play, so we got to make sure he doesn't call that in. As long as he doesn't, NL is fine. But that's something that he's got to be aware of, and definitely something he's going to want to take care of moving forward, as we do see NL in control of P3 right here. Parrish pushing in, immediately eliminated by Raven, who's going to make the rotation back up to the top side and sending out the Shock RC, trying to find an additional frag right here. He knows Band back in that pocket, but Band going to slide the corner. 9 kills on the board for him. Tries to find another onto Papa Taco. Runs out of ammo. Still finds the frag. He gets the one-man break. Envoy tries to push in. It's actually going to be Fish getting the frag. 9 kills for him. 10 for Envoy. These two playing a really big role in the 60-point lead that we've seen develop so far. And right now, not a whole lot of kills separating the two teams. I think there's actually more kills for Nova Invictus, but they've just not been able to make those rotations. And right now, the fundamentals for NL Esports playing a big role as they've got a 50-point lead.
Yeah, so far Raven has done a good job of not calling in that UAV, and he's about to loop it, so I think he knows, and that's at least a good sign that we're not going to get a DQ over that. So we will have to see how the remainder of this game goes. He picks up a kill there, loops over to the Shock RC, is now well on his way, about 240 points away from picking up a Pred missile. And while most of the hard points are indoors, actually all of the hard points are indoors on this map, that Predator missile can still absolutely be used for zone control and potentially picking up a couple kills, because while the hard points are all focused inside, the rest of the map is all outside. So on these long corner fights, you definitely could see that Pred missile be able to stall out a team's rotation. You have that Pred missile getting called in for exactly that, as they are getting set up for P5 here. The trophy system is going to come out, and that Pred missile will unfortunately not serve its purpose. But
and we actually saw a really big mistake for Nova Invictus right there. So not only did they give up the majority of the time onto P4, but they rotated late onto P4 as well, and that meant that NL Esports was going to be able to get a free take on P5. So we see right here, Papa Taco is actually going to get broken with a Tempest in hand. Somehow they're able to get the break right there. But it really should have been Nova Invictus getting close to max time at least, and they really missed out on about half of that, actually giving it up to NL. And that's definitely going to be something that could potentially come back to haunt them. We do see them holding it down right now. They're doing a good job of holding it, but that's also going to allow NL to go out, rotate, take control of 3-story, which is going to make life easier not only for P1, but for P2 as well. Papa Taco is set up on the side. Not having a great game so far. Only 6 kills on the board for him. And like we said, Nova Invictus is not having a tough time finding kills right here. They just haven't been making those rotations. And right there we saw another great example of just making a rotation onto a hard point that you didn't really need to make instead of setting up for next. They do get a big feed to go in right there, but it is going to be NL Esports in control of P1 as well. And with Fish up top of 3-story, things once again not looking great for Nova Invictus.
Yeah, and I'm definitely glad you made note of the timing of the rotation from Nova Invictus there. We harp on it on a lot of teams and players all season long, and this has been the case specifically on maps that have really punishing respawns. The likes of Crash, the likes of Summit. And that's exactly what happened there. A late push did pick up like 15 points for the side of Nova, but that's 15 seconds they could have went setting up to try to hold for 60. You know, so really kind of backed themselves into a difficult situation. They're sitting about 66 points, or what, 64 points down right now. Not a great position to be in, but not an unrecoverable one. And again, we did see them struggle in the early game up against 11T earlier, and they were able to adapt and overcome. So we'll have to see if they can do the same here. There's a lot of potential for this team still. We have Raven pushing on into 3-story, picks up a kill there, does get dropped by Impulsive. But NL continued to fill up the feed, and as I say that, Impulsive finds another 2 kills, 3-piece for him before getting dropped by Papa Taco, and that may be the break that they need, as Nova Paris is able to come in with that Fennec, pick up the kill, and potentially another 30 points, which would really help them close the gap at this.
An interesting move right here. We see Fish actually going all the way to top of 3-story when Nova Invictus is in control of the hard point. So I'm not sure if I love this. It'd be different if it was on the way into a P2 rotation, but as you can see, Nova Invictus already starting to set out for P3 right here. So could be a missed opportunity for him. We do have one player already set up over there. Papa Taco looking to make his move, and I believe it was Fish set up, but immediately going to be taken out. The feed filling up with Nova Invictus, and like we noted early on, they seem to be having the kill advantage, so if they're able to eliminate some of these rotation mistakes, we could see this turn around very quickly, and right now they are very well on their way to a comeback, and Desi's actually going to get a collat with the Annihilator right there. Trying to get the reload off here as well. Not quite able to take out Envoy, but the double kill for Band with the Pred missile goes in right there. And really solid control for Nova Invictus on P3.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And again, they're a great team for getting their bearings together and adapting to what the matchup calls for. It's a skill that they really have done better with every week, and I think it's a lot of what really brought their success in this season. I mean, again, this is a team that, you know, we came into week one expected, hey, these guys have been on phone. We hear they're doing great in the scrims. We just expected them to come into the season strong, and they faced their own set of struggles. But it shows really strong dedication into the time they put in practicing. Coming from that team we watched in week one and week two to a team that is now fighting in the semifinals, looking to make a comeback and push themselves into finals territory. There's only about 10 points between these two teams right now. NL currently do have P4 control. I just hope that Nova don't make the same mistake that they made in the first rotation through the Hardpoints, where they made that late rotation that you called out. And it really cost them because it gave the setup to NL that really helped extend their lead. If they didn't do that, this could be Nova leading right now 210 to 170. So
yeah,
definitely got to keep an eye out for it.
I was about to say, the way that they play and set up for this next hard point is going to determine whether or not they've got a shot at winning this. And we actually see some really big frags coming in. Tio gets one with the War Machine right there, and you can see despite the good rotations going in for Nova Invictus, really strong pushes for the break going in, and Tio set up really well. He does have Impulsive up in that top side in with a Sparrow, and Tio causing issues. He gets the one-man break right there, and that could be catastrophic for this Nova Invictus team. He's got a Pred missile he's going to be able to call in as well. One player climbing the ladder, but it's not going to be enough. Band's got a Goliath trying to march into the hard point. I don't know if he's got enough time to make it on in right here. Only 5 seconds to work with. Band's going to get the frag right here. Will he be able to get the contest in time? He does. That's big, but it immediately gets eliminated, and just like that, we've got NL Esports coming out on top. 250 to, I think, 173, if I saw it correctly?
I believe that was it, yeah. And honestly, this was a great fight one way or another for Nova Invictus. I know we were mentioning at the beginning, you know, hey, if you want to come through with a win here up against NL, it's got to start here. So this does put an incredibly difficult fight ahead of Nova Invictus as far as how the rest of this matchup could potentially turn out, right? So we've obviously got them down 1 currently, and our next matchup is going to be Search and Destroy Standoff. With the sniper presence that we have on the side of NL, and the fact that it's Standoff, a map where snipers are incredibly dominant because of the long sight lines at every single turn on this map, you definitely have to give the edge to NL Esports here. Nova Invictus are a much stronger respawn team than they are Search and Destroy. And NL Esports, while I would say they are a stronger Search and Destroy team, they're obviously also an incredibly strong respawn team. So hopefully for the sake of Nova, they are able to turn things around in Domination firing range, because I don't expect to see a ton of fight on Search and Destroy. Now, I'm not completely ruling them out. They obviously have the skill. They fought all season long. They placed top 3. They won their quarterfinals match, and they are now here in the semifinals. So anything can happen. There's a lot of match still ahead of us, but I think their best chance is hope for Domination firing range and Hardpoint Summit, because I think they really needed to win all 3 of the respawn matchups here.
Yeah, that was definitely. And you looked at the kill counts. There were actually the exact same amount of kills for each team. They completely split it down the middle, and yet 75 points dividing them. It really came down to fundamentals and rotation. So when you see it played that evenly when it comes to the AR and SMG play, and then you take into account you got the marksman to split on NL Esports, you got Papa Taco, who's another solid sniper. Envoy can pull out the sniper if he wants to. Just a lot of challenges here facing this Nova Invictus team for game number 2. Obviously, Search and Destroy Standoff, sometimes you're able to minimize the impact of snipers, and if you play really aggressive, smoke off A correctly, you can sometimes get a plant, but you got to take into account the defensive end as well. It's going to be a tough matchup. Really big challenge ahead of them, and they need to try to snag one here if they're going to have a shot at winning this best of 5. We'll see if they can do it. As we've got our players loaded into standoff, it will be NL Esports on the offensive off the start and looking to push the issue early on.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. And I do like that you pointed out that we had the same amount of kills on each side, Bobby, because I was actually looking at that as well. And the fact that, obviously, same kills on both sides means you have the same deaths on both sides. But we had, I think, 5 more assists on the side of NL. Hard to say if that makes a huge difference, but it definitely can be keyed in a little bit to potentially just the team rotations and being able to pick up those kills together. In the end, it was the same kills, but without that additional couple assists, without that additional couple bullet hits, kills very easily could have gone a different way. So you definitely got to give the, even if it's a slight advantage, you have to credit the teamwork that NL bring to the table. And that's one of the things I mentioned, you know, especially when you look at the likes of Tempo from season 3 and 4, Dante from season 4, Fish now for season 5, Raven as well. NL picks up players that have the skill level to compete here, and that come through and work together as a team with the rotations, and I think that's one of their strongest suits. So definitely something to keep an eye out for them moving forward. Envoy is able to pick up a kill onto Band there off the head glitch. Raven as well finds a kill onto Parrish. And with the bomb planted, it's going to be a difficult fight for Nova. But Desi and Impulsive pick up a couple kills there. Going to make things a little bit more manageable, but it's a 2v3. Make that a 2v1 is Impulsive.
Oh, but Envoy there to play spoiler. The turn that I saw as I switched to Impulsive was just absolutely disgusting. I think he beamed Papa Taco and then immediately flicked onto Tio. Definitely would have loved to see the clutch right there, as that would have been an insane 1v3, but the head glitch from Envoy a little bit too strong right there. It is going to be NL Esports taking the 1-0 lead. And we do have, once again, the slow push on up to the A site, which has worked for NL, at least so far. No first blood yet. 3 players set up on that backside, so it's not going to be quite as easy a push right here. As I believe there was only 1 there previously for Nova Invictus. To Tio, going to go ahead and get the plant down and work in the head glitch. Envoy not going to be able to land the shots, and that is going to fall apart pretty quickly. Parrish able to take out to Tio, and the bomb does not go down, but just like that, Fish finds one. Papa Taco finds another. 3v3 right here. Fish with the sniper in hand, showing why he is your marksman of the split. Looks like he's running shrapnel grenades right now, trying to find some damage onto Decipher, who's kind of stuck in those 4 corners right here. He's going to land some shots onto Papa Taco. Raven flying in. Fish still alive, but Parrish finds a double kill right there. That's going to leave them in a 1v1, and Fish going to need to go retrieve that bomb, and definitely wants a secondary weapon. He's going to find a DRH right here that'll make it more manageable. Not spotting anybody over top of that bomb head glitch, and obviously with the Fennec in hand, Parrish not wanting to make any noise, give away his location. He actually is going to end up doing that right there. And now the pressure on for Fish, who's not going to be able to land the initial shot. Parrish trying his best to play time right here. Fish knows that the pressure's on. He probably knows what Parrish is doing right here, but with only 15 seconds, not going to be an easy task. He's going to be forced to make the push in right here. Needs the frag to close it out. He pre-fires the corner. He gets the frag right there. It's going to be a 2-0 lead for NL Esports.
Yeah, NL, again, the team that we expect to come out on top in the Search and Destroy matchup. The teams that I would consider the top Search and Destroy teams in the league, with not in this particular order, because there's definitely arguments map-based, how this can bounce back and forth, but I'd say you're looking at Tribe, Imperium, and NL. And NL, so far, have been showing that to be the case. Nova have made it very, very close. But again, you really, really got to see Nova fight here. You got to see them stop the momentum that NL have. Because NL are very good at just taking things away. They're very good at keeping their energy positive, and they're going to be a hard team to beat for anybody in the league in Search and Destroy. So definitely got to keep an eye out for that. Impulsive having a heck of a game right now, proving to be a really, really good pickup for the Nova Invictus roster here. We do have a plant coming out of Envoy. Band hears it going on, unable to find the angle for the bullets there, as he is getting suppressed down a little bit, but they are able to pick up a kill on the Tio. Fish, Raven finding a couple kills. Desi gets the return. It's now a 3 versus 3, 30 seconds on the clock, and Nova are in a tight spot once again.
And honestly, if Raven had played that a little more patiently, he could have very well had a double kill, if not a triple, but that's going to leave Fish versus Envy right here to close out the round, and Fish has clutched before, but the wall bang from Envy right on point right there, knows where the shots need to be. He secures the kill, 4 kills for him, tied for top frag as we currently have 4 players all the way up there, and Nova Invictus finally able to take a round. That'll move us to 2-1, and Nova Invictus manages to keep things close, as they would really love to get a Search and Destroy win right here and tie things up at 1-1.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised on the way Fish played that round. So if you looked at the position the bomb was planted, it looked like it was planted out on the left side so that you had the top of Bakery as an advantage for your sniper nest to look over. Fish obviously played in a much different side of the map. He then switched over to the AR and tried to make the push up. But I'd like to see Fish play a little bit more around the angles of where his team plants the bomb. Right now, Impulsive is down. That's pretty big for the side of NL. Fish gets the return kill onto Band, so we have a 2-player advantage now for the side of NL as Envoy picks up Parrish. But this is the position that NL was in before, and we did see Nova clutch that up, so we'll have to see if they're able to do it again. Desi starts it off good, getting a kill onto Papa Taco, making things a little bit more manageable, but Fish finds Envy, and that's going to be another round to NL.
He's the marksman of the split for a reason. He's the rookie of the split for a reason. Top frag for his team once again. This man Fish has absolutely earned his spot in Mobile Mayhem, if not in Mobile Mayhem history. There is a ladybug that is flying around and freaking me out, but it's all right. Ladybugs don't bite. The gameplay goes on. Fish trying to find a hop-up shot onto Deli right there. Not able to make anything happen quite yet. Papa Taco with the bomb in hand once again. And Band, the only player waiting on the backside right there, trying to gather some info. Getting ready to cook the nade, but obviously trophy system down. Gas grenade gonna go out, and he's gonna be forced out right here. Raven has the angle, but Envy able to save his teammate. That's gonna be huge for Nova Invictus. Just like that, Envoy finds Impulsive. Fish in the top of shops. Finds another frag onto Decipher. This man can do no wrong right now. Band trying to find some frags right here. Tio rounds the corner. He gets the double kill. Avenges the earlier turn that we saw, and NL Esports looking really strong through the first 5 rounds on the offensive side. They'll now go ahead and swap to defense.
Yeah, NL in a great position to take a 2-0 lead over the side of Nova Invictus here. Again, NL did win the 2-0 victory over Invictus during the open season. Envoy picks up a kill onto Band there. Desi gets hit markered, but he is alive, and that could potentially help Nova Invictus there. We do have Envy picking up a kill. Fish able to find the return. Desi, once again, somehow makes it out on a sliver of life. It's just not a great position for him to be in. He does pick up the kill onto Raven there, but it is now Desi who not only needs to get bomb and pick up a plant, he's also having to do so up against the likes of Tio, Fish, and Papa Taco.
Yeah.
Papa Taco picks up the kill. 5-1 lead for NL, and shy of a miracle here. And again, Nova Invictus, not a bad team. That's not what I'm saying, but given NL the edge that they deserve in Search and Destroy. They've proven themselves over and over again, and they are coming through as the dominant team right now as expected. So hopefully Nova are able to turn things around in the next couple of rounds, because I think this one is about to be lights out. Even if it's not this round, things pretty even. 3 versus 3 right now. We've got Parrish, Impulsive, and Band against Envoy, Raven, and Fish. Envoy with 10 and Fish with 9 is huge for the side of NL here. Meanwhile, Parrish, Impulsive, Band struggling around the middle of the pack. We've got a 1-for-1 trade there. Band actually picks up the kill onto Fish. It's now Raven up against Impulsive and Band. This is a chance for Nova to turn things around. They do find the kill onto Raven there. 5-2. Nova cannot afford to make a mistake here, though.
Yeah, and right now, NL has just owned this game completely. We see Envoy moving up into double digits. Obviously, Fish consistent throughout the entirety. 9 kills for him, and I just don't love the uber aggressive pushes that we're seeing from Nova Invictus right now. I feel like a lot of times we do see that out of teams that are down, trying to catch the other team off guard, and so many times it ends up backfiring. They are able to get the first blood, and actually the plant over on the B site, but that's a tough spot to guard, especially when you got a sniper like Fish to contend with, and just like that, he finds a double kill. 3 players remain for each team. 1 player hopping up in Impulsive. Fish able to evade the shots, at least for right now, and looking to find another shot right here. Not quite. Did he hit a hit marker? I think that was his teammate that did the majority of the damage. Ooh. Things falling apart pretty quickly. Oh, not falling apart.
Raven! Oh my god, Raven, 1 HP!
Ooh, Papa Taco protects his teammate. Able to take out Band right there, and that is going to be NL Esports taking the 2-0 lead in our best of 5 first semifinals match.
Yeah, that was a really, really big game for Envoy. 10 kills on the board for him. Fish with 11 as well. Overall, for Search and Destroy, just the rotations, and like you mentioned right at the end there, the teamwork between these players was just a little bit too difficult for Nova to overcome. Moving into our next 2 matchups, they are respawn, so we are match point for the side of NL, but I think this is where Nova Invictus has their best chance of really turning things around, is in our Domination and our next Hardpoint matchup, which, looking at the schedule, Bobby, looks like it should be Domination on firing range, so big opportunity for Invictus there. And if we make it to the follow-up matchup, it will be Hardpoint on Summit, which will be very, very difficult against a team like NL who plays so close together and has good synergy. But again, it's where, if any edge at all, Nova Invictus may have a chance. So we'll have to see if they're able to push us. Should we go to a Game 5, it'll be Search and Destroy on firing range, which again, Search and Destroy has NL written all over it. But Invictus are a team that you definitely can't sleep on.
Yep, and we saw them, like, they played game number 1 pretty close. They had 0 difference in the KD. They had the exact same KD, and we know they can frag out. Domination firing range is a map that things can turn in a bad way really quickly, or in a good way really quickly. So, especially with their backs up against the wall, that's typically when we do see the best gameplay out of a lot of these players, and I'm expecting to see that from Nova Invictus. We know that their best shot at winning was going to be in the respawns, and because of that, I've got a feeling that they're probably going to be coming away with the win right here, but I mean, if we're going based on what we've seen tonight, you got to give the advantage to NL Esports, just because they are such a good team. They're so consistent. You see it across the board. There's not any one player that's really underperforming on a regular basis, and they just cause issues at every single spot in the lineup.
Yeah, and NL is a team that I don't think any team in the league, even Tribe, who is again, undefeated as far as actually the games played. Obviously, they lost the matchups that they forfeited for various reasons. There were a couple where they couldn't field a roster due to some extraneous issues. So they obviously lost those matchups. But all of the games that Tribe showed up, and it wasn't it wasn't difficult matches that they were missing, right? It was, Tribe forfeited a lot of matches to teams that weren't in the running for top 3. They showed up against the Trovo Mayhem. They showed up against Cygnus. They showed up against NL. So you definitely got to give credit in the fact that NL is a team that strikes fear into any other team in the league. I mean, they're a team that's a championship winner. They have multiple repeat MVPs and marksmans of the split. So definitely got to keep your eye out for these guys. Hopefully, okay, Envoy did switch. I was gonna say, I see a couple too many annihilators going on here, but Envoy did make the split switch, very likely just using the other class, so no issue there.
Yeah, we do see the expected start right here. Nobody too aggressive over toward B. NL getting some time right here. Actually, 3 players on site. Envoy gets a double frag right there, and that is going to be an early double cap for them, especially with tin control and I believe trailer control as well. They are in a really good spot. 1 player, make it 2 players now looking to make the rotation on over to trailer, and Impulsive is going to slide across over there. They're going to need to get that to have a shot at securing the B flag, but more than likely going to need to take care of these 10 players as well. And actually rotating all the way around. You got to keep in mind there's 2 players on the inside of 10, and the push slowed down pretty significantly. Smoke's going in, but Papa Taco finds the frag onto Band anyway. NL Esports looking really strong off the start once again. Not too surprising to see. Papa Taco already with a Pred missile in hand, only 25 points. And just like that, he's got a sentry gun and a Goliath to work with as well. And that is going to cause some issues for Nova Invictus.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's definitely not what you want to see for Nova Invictus off the board. This could very quickly end up being a 3-0 win for NL if Invictus don't start showing up. We see Desi picking up a couple kills there, but we really need to see the team get together so they can start making a rotation over and try to take B. Tio was able to get the return kill there. Definitely something we expect out of Tio. Again, a repeat player, but right now, it's honestly all on Papa Taco, at least for who I'm looking at on NL right now. 7 kills on the board for him, full score streaks across the board. He's got his Pred missile, he's got his sentry gun, he's got his Goliath, and there's a lot of potential to make really good use out of those in this matchup. We have 0 score streaks so far on the side of Nova. Pred missile for Envoy. Obviously, as I mentioned, full streaks for Papa Taco. That's all for kill streaks right now. We have a couple operators as well getting ready to be charged up. But with the score being up at 70, you very likely see some of those operators getting saved for round 2. Team's obviously going to be trying to use them to make the break onto B. Specifically looking at the side of Nova, who are massively down right now, just crossing, just barely hitting the 40-point mark as NL have been able to maintain B control the entire round here so far. They're crossing into 80 right now, so doubling up on the likes of Nova.
I just want to give credit to Papa Taco. He was at, I believe, a 7-0 streak, and I'm not saying it's likely he would have had a chance to get a nuke, but if you can get a nuke in, or even have an opportunity to get a nuke in a $2,500 semifinal game, you got to go for it. And the man just full sent out to B because he saw that it was pretty close to being overtaken, goes and takes it down for his team, and it's paying off for them right now. They've got a triple cap now in play. Nova Invictus is in shambles. They get a little progress onto C, but not before the end of the round. 100-48 in half number 1, and it is going to take a heck of a half for Nova Invictus to fight back after this. Only 1 player in double digits. Everybody else at 7 or below. Nobody below 9 for NL Esports, and one of those players is Papa Taco, who's not in double digits for this NL Esports team, but he's got full streaks right now. They're already sending out to the B site. We've got Pred missiles on the way. We got players dropping left and right. No C-cap. There is no C-cap in for Nova Invictus. Another double kill for Papa Taco. We may very well see a triple cap go into play off the start.
Yeah, it
And we
looks
do.
to be the case. Triple cap right off the start. Nova full sent to B, trying to hopefully get that cap while NL was down a player. Lost their gunfights, and unfortunately for them, cost them time. More so than the couple points they would have had capturing A from the start. It's costing them time in the matchup overall, which is not great for them. Fish lasering down Envoy or NV there, but Desi will get the return kills. They had a 2v1 gunfight there. Right now, a 75-point lead for the side of NL.
I mean,
triple cap territory?
yeah, I believe we're already in triple cap territory, 80 points separating the two, which means that we do, in fact, need to see a triple cap from Nova Invictus if they're going to have a shot at winning this, and very nearly had a triple cap for NL Esports once again. Papa Taco is going to pull out the Tempest right here, trying to make a couple shots happen on the inside of Wood. Force back, not able to make those happen, but it's really at the point where it doesn't seem like it's going to matter a whole lot. 147-63. They are able to take the triple cap off the start. Decipher and Parrish trying to do everything that they can to make a comeback happen right here, and we do see the double cap go into play. But keep in mind, we're also probably going to get to the point where time starts to become a factor as well. The closer and closer NL gets to the 200-point mark, the more time that Nova Invictus is going to need to hold the triple cap. We do see them holding the double, but they're not able to secure the triple right there. Fish able to clear things out over on the C flag, and that sets Nova Invictus back once again.
Yeah, I don't think time really going to be an issue here. Again, as you mentioned, we're already well into triple cap territory, which Nova did pull off here. They did get the triple cap, but them holding it for the rest of the game seems increasingly less likely. But, you know, as I say that, Nova do fill up the feed a little bit there. We have a lot of A progress right now on the side of NL. They do pick that up. 40 points to 100 points. Yeah, we're still in triple cap territory, well into it actually. About 20 points of triple cap, and it needs to happen fast. They do get the triple cap back in their favor. Papa Taco has his Goliath out. We do have a C cap once again going over to the side of NL. And I'll tell you what though, Desi, not the player I expected to see popping off on the side of Nova. Not that I'm saying he's a bad player, but the past several weeks of Mobile Mayhem has been banned and Parrish and impulsive across the board. So seeing Desi come through with a strong performance here is huge. Impulsive has his Goliath. He's making his way on over. We did get the double cap going back over to the side of NL. So I don't know if there's time on the board for Nova to win this unless they get a triple cap now and hold it. And even then, it's going to be close.
Yeah, and Impulsive trying to make his way on over to the B flag with that Goliath in hand, but obviously going to get shut down pretty quickly right here. And I think it is actually at that point where even if Nova Invictus was able to get a triple cap, I don't think they'd be able to get the win. 190 points on the board for NL Esports as they march their way to a dominant 3-game victory, 3-0 over a Nova Invictus team that has been really good, that's taken out some of the best teams in NL Esports season after season. They lose players, they pick up players that are even better somehow. It doesn't seem to be possible, but they come away with the win, 200-130, and they are going to be moving on to the finals of Mobile Mayhem season number 5.
Yeah, that's a really big performance from NL, and I got to give NL just super extra credit. I mean, we've credited them obviously on being able to pick up teams season after season, but from the beginning of when I joined Mobile Mayhem with you, Bobby, this was a team that, you know, NL struggled with consistency, and then when we saw NL improving and improving and improving throughout the season, and it came to finals, for a couple seasons in a row, they had great seasons, and just did not show up to finals. I mean, it was a totally different team that was playing for them in finals, and that has massively changed these past couple seasons as well. This is a team that has a good season and then shows up better in the finals. So the growth of this team, specifically the repeat players that we see, the likes of Tatio, the likes of Cheto, the likes of Envoy, they obviously players that continue to push themselves. They bring players on board that help push them, that they can push back on. So it's a consistently developing team over here for NL. And this has been a phenomenal performance out of them. I mean, the first Hardpoint matchup, relatively close, despite I think it ended up being an 80-point win for the side of NL. A lot of that game early on was very back and forth. We saw a lead come for NL, and then we saw Invictus able to turn things around, almost even it back out. Then NL would take a lead again, and then Invictus would come back and even things out. So even though Invictus drop out of the finals contention here, they will still go on to our third place matchup. And this is a team that I really respect and want to see move forward in multiple seasons ahead of us. So definitely still a lot on the board for them. They could fight for the third place matchup, but NL will secure our first finals spot.
And honestly, there's a pretty good chance that we could have a Nova versus Nova bronze matchup. So we do have Tribe Gaming versus Nova Imperium coming up in our last game of the night. No disrespect at all to Nova Imperium, but this is a Tribe Gaming team that has only dropped one map throughout the entire season. So they are definitely the favorites to win in this one. And based on overall season performance, probably the favorites to win the entire thing. Now, that was domination from NL Esports. It wasn't just them playing some random regular season game against some random team. That was against a Nova Invictus team that has run through the majority of their competition in the second half of the season and looked really strong coming into tonight's matchup, and they just couldn't get anything to happen. So this could just be a different final form that we see for NL Esports right here, and could cause a lot of issues for Tribe Gaming, but we will have to wait and see. We'll run through the maps and the bans for our final matchup. As per usual, we do have a ban on the Man of War, and the KRM actually going to be the other gun that gets banned. So that's not what we expect to see at all. Probably going to expect to see a lot of DRHs, HVKs, Arctic 50, ACOGs. And as far as the game modes that we are going to be playing in the maps, game number 1, Hackney Yard Hardpoint, game 2, Firing Range Search and Destroy, game 3, Standoff Domination. If we go to a game 4, it'll be Scrapyard Hardpoint, and last but not least, if we go to a game 5, it's going to be Raid Search and Destroy.
Yeah, definitely going to be an exciting matchup. Obviously, the winner of this is going to be the team that moves on to the finals to face off against NL, the team that just picked up the victory. And I think this could be a really good matchup. So Tribe, obviously, as you mentioned, and we've both mentioned multiple times, with the exception of losing a Search and Destroy match to Zygnus, this is a team that has not lost a map shy of DQ. And again, you can't count them out for the maps that they played. It's not like their DQs were against, they skipped facing NL. They skipped facing Trouble Mayhem. They skipped facing Invictus. That's not the case. They played all of their tough matchups, and they missed all of the easy matchups. Yeah. So, this is a team that you absolutely cannot sleep on. They showed up from day 1 all the way through here until, potentially week 7. So they got their bye in the quarterfinals because they were the top of their division. And this will be the first time we see them tonight. Now, there is definitely an opportunity where Imperium could come through and they could beat Tribe. Imperium is a team that you cannot sleep on whatsoever, especially in Search and Destroy, as we witnessed earlier. They are a strong search team. Tribe, where they do seemingly struggle just based off of, again, the matchups we've seen out of them, the map they lost was Search and Destroy against Zygnus, the team that Imperium just beat. So, really a interesting situation here where Imperium is a team that kind of slacks off or historically has slacked off a little bit in the open season and really brings their A game to finals competition. So I think that's kind of the saving grace of Imperium here is bring your A game, capitalize where Tribe makes mistakes, and you might have a chance to push through into the finals. If you're Tribe, honestly, just keep doing what you've been doing. It's been working. You guys are strong players. You work together well as a team. And if you bring your A game, then you absolutely can overcome Imperium here.
I just want to go back and see who banned which. So Nova Imperium was the one to ban the KRM. That's interesting to me for a number of reasons. So number one, typically the reason that you ban a gun is because there's one gun that has a specific advantage over other guns. The thing about banning the KRM is that it's not significantly better than the Buy 15 or the HS-0405. So it's not like banning the KRM eliminates shotgun play by any stretch of the imagination, because there's a lot of other viable options, whereas if you ban the Arctic 50, that eliminates the primary gun for both A-Flows and Jez, and occasionally Slothy as well.
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned that too, because the ban on the shotgun, it's very limited on the maps and the game modes that we even see shotguns use.
Yeah.
So you're really taking the KRM out for what? Your domination on standoff? Your
and pretty much domination on standoff.
Domination on standoff. So, I mean, you can make an argument for Hackney Yard as well. We did see 11T earlier pull out the, I believe it was Zai and Yuji use the shotguns, and they were able to make a couple breaks on B because of those shotguns, but it didn't work out for them. They lost that matchup. So, the value of banning something, as you mentioned, like the Arctic, where you're taking away one of the favorite weapons of one of these players across all maps and all game modes, sniper that absolutely can be used in respawn, obviously a primary sniper for search and destroy, seems like a much more worthwhile ban. I mean, this could potentially be something that maybe we just haven't seen. Maybe the KRM for Tribe is something that's been going on in scrims, so that is something we kind of have to take into account. But it's hard to say.
We do see Hex and Forsaken on a rampage off the start. 6 kills for them. Only 3 kills in total for Tribe right now, and that's going to be some easy hardpoint control. And we see one player running in with a Buy 15 right there, kind of agreeing with my point in that, yeah, you can make the ban on the KRM, but there's just so many other guns that you can easily substitute it for that seems like a questionable decision. We actually see 5 DRHs in play for Tribe right now, and I believe we have 4 DRHs in play for Nova Imperium. So not a whole lot of variety going on. We do have Bye Bye with the Fennec in hand, which he actually played very, very solidly with in the first matchup that Nova Imperium had tonight. And we do have High and Wally now making that rotation on into the top side. So not only are they able to get a 40-point lead on P1, but they're going to get easy control of P2 as well. And Tribe struggling a lot right here. Marshy is able to get a big double kill, but 2 players still ready to push on in just like that. Nova Imperium able to retake the break, and High picks up another kill onto Bolu right here as he gives comms of 1 player pushing on up into the hard point. Slothy is going to survive, but immediately taken out by High.
Yeah, it's been a, so far, pretty dominating match for the side of Nova Imperium. And again, this is what I'm saying. This is a team that shows up when finals are on the line, and so far they've been able to do so. Hacks, I don't know what's going on with this dude today. Again, he's not a bad player, but he's showing up today like he has not shown up this season. And I think that's really helping out the side of Nova here, where, you know, the likes of Wally, you know, typically a strong fragger for the team is struggling. High, typically a strong fragger for the team is struggling. Even Forsaken, I don't want to say he's struggling. He's got 6 kills on the board, but Forsaken, a repeat top fragger no matter what team he is on. And Hax is still leading the charge, most kills in the game. Over on the opposition, we've got Bolu up at 8, A-Flows at 7, and Slothy picking up his 6th kill there, really helping Tribe get some time locked down. And fortunately for them, there's exactly enough time on the board for them on this hard point where they can take the lead by 1 point.
And this is something that we do occasionally see from Tribe, where they just have a really bad start to the game, and then they turn things around, but oh my gosh. Hax is not missing a shot right now. 13 kills. A beautiful double kill, laying down some shots on the Marshy as well. He's going to find another. It's going to be Bolu finally taking him out. He and Slothy both moving into double digits, and right now Hex pretty lonely up at the top for Nova Imperium. Forsaken trying to make some catch-up happen right here as he's got 9 on the board and setting up for a good hold for Nova Imperium right here. It is going to be Tribe in control of the hard point, but they got players in the surrounding area, and we got operators on the way in. We'll see if they can keep it alive, but the gravity spikes from Slothy going to secure P4 for this Tribe Gaming team, and just like that, they are back in it and getting ready to take the lead.
Is this a new skin for the Fennec that Bye was using? Is that what it is?
It's the mythic one. It's been around for a while, but we haven't seen it a whole lot.
I just haven't seen it. So, like, that's why I was asking about the scope earlier. I was, like, having PTSD flashbacks to the millimeter scanner. Like,
yeah.
This is not what I expected to see here, but it's all starting to make sense now. The Death Engine skin for the Fennec, I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I just never seen that one. But Hax rocking at 15 kills on the board. Forsaken definitely stepped things up a little bit for the team. 12 for him. But Tribe have taken the lead, so still a lot of potential. Hax finds the grab spikes on to Bolu there. It's going to give a little bit of leeway for trying to make this rotation over. But Bolu answers back. Gravity spikes for Pred Missile. Picks off Hax there. And Tribe have solid anchor and seemingly solid control of the point. As I say that, Bye picks up 2. Bolu is going to kind of narrow things out a little bit. But with the respawn from Forsaken and Hax there, it looks like Anchor is going to go over to the side of Nova. There's not enough points on the board for them to take the lead, but Tribe, solid 4-man rotation over there. Should very quickly be able to take this hard point back. Going to extend their lead a little bit, but it'll be interesting to see who they send on a rotation. Try to get ready for the next hard point. They've got about a 50-point lead right now, so they're not in bad shape. They obviously made a pretty sizable comeback as they were down like 50-some points earlier. So pretty big swing in score. They're now about 100 points shy of closing this game out. And unfortunately, High struggling right now. 5 kills on the board for him. Bolu up at 19 to tie Hax. Slothy 17. Everybody on Tribe doing pretty well.
Yeah, for the most part, Hex and Forsaken carrying the bulk of the load for this Nova Imperium team. High does, actually, as you were saying it, find a big double kill right there, and that's going to make the P1 hold that much easier for Nova Imperium. Forsaken finds another one. We saw some really solid map control for him as we did see those rotations on back to P5, and now looking to slow down the players from rotating in that top side. Not going to be able to win the gunfight. Hex staying alive, getting a couple frags, but once again, Tribe Gaming taking control of the hard point. High does have that Tempest in hand, trying to get the break right here, but it's a little bit late. He takes the low ground battle. It doesn't pay off. Jez going to win right there. It's going to be Tribe Gaming taking close to a 70-point lead, and we do have multiple players in position right now for Nova Imperium, but they've not been able to hold these hard points quite as well as they did through the first couple. They've got control of spawns right now, so they're in a good spot, but they're going to need to win these gunfights if they're going to have a shot at making this happen. And with 1 player, 2 players, 3 players dropping off, it's Bye all by himself in the top of this hard point. He's going to get dropped by Jez. Just like that, Tribe Gaming immediately gets the break once again.
Yeah, and Tribe showing us right now why they were an undefeated team throughout the season. Do have Hax picking up the kill onto Marshy there, and we will have control going back over to the side of Nova, but only temporary, as we do have several members of Tribe making that rotation over. They are now locking down once again. Time to increase their lead. They're sitting up about 60 points right now. If they're able to hold down this objective, It's going to go up to about an 80-point lead. So not a great position to be in for Nova, but if they're able to get their things together and make some better rotations, win a couple more gunfights across the board. I mean, again, Hacks, I mean, he's shown up today like he hasn't shown up all season. 25 kills on the board for him to lead all players. Forsaken, repeat MVP, repeat champion. We obviously expect him to show up, and he's doing well. Bye 15, kind of middle of the pack at this point, but still, good performance. Wally and High massively struggling for this side. 9 kills for High, 10 for Wally. Looking at the side of Tribe, Marshy struggling. Not a starting player for the side of Tribe, so you have marginal expectations out of him. I mean, obviously he's a great player, but really looking at the kill disparity that Tribe have the advantage in is Slothy 27, Bolu 26, Aflo's 20, Jez 17. They're just winning gunfights across the board, and even on the rotations that they're late on, it's giving them the edge. They're able to pick up their anchors because they're getting the kills, and it's really going into good capitalization of their time.
Yeah, and it's tough for Nova just watching the gameplay. A lot of times it seems like Forsaken is pushed up. He's got really solid map control, and he's winning gunfight after gunfight, but eventually he just gets overrun as he doesn't really have the backup that he needs from his team. Wally's struggling, High struggling. These are two players that you typically count on to be top fraggers, and both stuck down at 10 while the majority of the lobby is at 20 plus. That's going to be following a really good start to the game for Nova Imperium. A relatively easy win for Tribe Gaming as they do take map number 1. Hackney Yard, Hardpoint. It is going to be 250 to 136.
Yeah, that was a big turnaround for Tribe, and it's exactly what you expect out of a team that has been so dominant all season long. Won their 2-0 matchup up against Nova Imperium previously. So strong performance. I mean, Slothy and Bolu together, right? Like Aflo's, obviously we know him as the consistent sniper for the side of Tribe, and a phenomenal sniper. I mean, again, he took 3rd place in our marksman of split. I even, again, made the argument that he deserved 2nd, or undefeated sniper. So, absolutely no discredit to Aflo's, but Aflo's strongly showed up here for the respawn as well. So, great performance out of Tribe. Bolu and Slothy have been dominant slayers all season long. Even with Marshy struggling down at 8 kills, we look at the time that he was able to bring to the table for the side of Tribe. 2:57, almost 3 minutes on the board for him.
Yeah, and that's an important part.
That's more than the rest of his team combined.
Yeah, that's why it's important to have players that know their roles and play it well. So even though it doesn't get quite as much glory, Marshy playing the OBJ where his team needed it, and it paid off. We saw it toward the beginning that they weren't winning their gunfights, and they were still able to stick in it. So once they started to get those gunfights, and we even saw toward the end, Marshy was the one that was sneaking on into the hard point through the cracks of the Nova Imperium defense and able to get into those spots that are just tough to get the frags. Once his teammates were there, they were able to get easy kills and capitalize and hold those hard points really well. So we'll see.
Just to put it into perspective, Marshy had more time on point than his entire team, and Marshy had more points than the entire time of Nova as far as time went. So strong objective plays from him there. And sometimes you sacrifice your life to stay on that point and get those last 10 seconds for your team. So, can't count Marshy out for the fact that he had 8 kills and 17 deaths, because when it comes down to it, this is not team deathmatch. This is hold the hard point, and he held the hard point for his team.
Yeah. We're getting ready to hop into game number 2. It is going to be Search and Destroy firing range, and if there's ever going to be a mode where we expect for Nova Imperium to have a better shot, it is going to be Search and Destroy. So they were able to get the win up against Zygnus earlier tonight. It was, I believe, Search and Destroy on Raid, but at the same time, we know they got a lot of sniper power. We don't have hacks in play, or we don't have swag in play for them. So that is the absence of a significant sniper presence. And without a ban on the Arctic 50. You got to contend with Jez, with A-Flows, with Slothy. It's not going to be an easy matchup for them, but if they're going to have a shot at pulling off the upset against Tribe Gaming, they need to get the win here in Search and Destroy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And this is not only in the sense that Imperium is a incredibly strong Search and Destroy team, the one game that Tribe dropped was Search and Destroy up against Zygnus, who Imperium beat earlier today. So you really hope that Imperium are able to turn things around here. I mean, again, only 2 of the 5 games are Search and Destroy. So for them to have that edge again, they have to then push us to a game 5 against Tribe. No easy feat for any team in the league. So Nova Imperium, they still have a chance, but they need to find whatever groove they need to find. They started off strong, they had good rotations, and then everything fell apart. And a lot of that could be said in that Tribe really stepped up, but just as much of it can be said in the fact that we had hacks massively showing up for this Imperium team, and the players that we normally see carrying the team did not show up. They did not perform as well as we expect them to. The likes of High and Wally, who again very consistently are up there with Forsaken being in the high 20, 30 kill count against a lot of teams. So you definitely would like to see them step up a little bit. I know they may be struggling still a little bit with that transition, but at this point, it's been a whole season. We need to see that adaptation if you want to be a finals or a championship team.
Yep, and we are good to go for game number 2. Chat, we did forget to go through the MVP of the split, so following game number 2, we will run through that prior to hopping into game 3. We do have Nova Imperium on the offensive side. Typically, on firing range especially, expect a slow start, play for those first bloods, see who can find it off the start, and once you see it, the push will typically come through, and we actually have one player full sending on over to B for Nova Imperium. Looks like Bye-Bye just trying to gain some information over here, and yet to see a first blood going in. Obviously, Arctic 50s in play for a number of these teams. Wally's got one in hand, as does High. A-Flow's rocking the Locust off the start, as is Jez. So maybe looking to make a little bit of a statement. Couple frags go in off the start. Jez is going to find the, Jez finds the frag nade. Marshy finds one for himself as well. And things looking pretty bleak off the start for Nova Imperium, as Hex does have the bomb in hand on the inside of Trailer, but A-Flow is going to shut down Wally right there. Hex finds one, finds two. That's actually going to be huge. Not going to be able to stop A-Flows, though, and Forsaken now alive, but not able to find the 3 remaining frags. Is going to be Tribe Gaming taking the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, definitely not a great position to be in for Nova Imperium, because again, you'd expect them to have a little bit of the edge in Search and Destroy. They didn't necessarily have a bad round, but again, it's hacks that's showing up, and we have some massive struggles going on across the rest of the board. We actually do have a big early pick on the A-Flows there, but oh my goodness. The double environmental is so rough if you're on the side of Nova Imperium right now. If you're standing next to a non-blown up car, you're asking for it.
Yeah, not a great spot to be. The bomb is going to go down. Bye-Bye and Forsaken trying to guard it. Bye-Bye on the backside of that ladder, and Marshy slides the corner, but not able to hit the shots. And that actually turned around really quickly. The nade kill for Forsaken on top of the DRH frag, and just like that, they're able to take the round. That moves us to 1-1, and Forsaken doing his best to play the carry right here, as he's got 4 kills on the board. Snipers will come into play again, and Nova Imperium said, we're not making that mistake again. We're going to go ahead and blow up the vehicle beforehand. That way we don't have to worry about it afterwards. So we do have Forsaken with, I believe, is a smoke in hand. It could be a spectator glitch, and I think smokes and nades going to go ahead, start going out right here. Wally pulling out the Arctic 50, trying to find somebody on the inside of Trailer, but No first blood gonna go into play yet. Hex does have the bomb in hand. They're on the inside of trailer. Able to make that progress, but A-Flow's still trying to hit the hop-up snipe. He's gonna be forced all the way back. Trying to maybe a little pre-fire it a little bit, see if he can find somebody high sliding on into the site, and Jez somehow able to find the shot onto Forsaken. The first blood for Tribe Gaming once again. Pressure is on, but bye-bye in the right place. Trade goes in for Bolu. It's a one-man advantage for Tribe right here. Jez has been so good with the Locust in hand and trying to apply that pressure onto that trailer area, but Hacks beaming across mid. Trades going in, left and right. It's a lone Bolu against High and Wally, both with snipers in hand, and that should allow them to make the push up to the bomb. High gonna pick it up right there. RPG goes out, but it's not gonna be able to get the kill, and High should be able to secure the plant right here, as Wally's gonna go ahead and throw the trophy system out for him. They're now content to wait for Bolu to make the push on in. What a shot through the window onto Wally. Bomb is down. He's in a 1v1. High, I believe, has an AR and a sniper to work with right here. So if he needs to back off, try to play the bomb location, he can very well do that. Bolu just playing the edge of that corner, trying to see if he can get High to peek the window, but he's not going to do it. That's going to give away his location, and now he's not in a great spot. Only 13 seconds to work with. High would have to misplay this badly, and he's not going to make it happen. Nova Imperium takes back-to-back rounds, and that gives them the 2-1 lead.
And this is definitely a little bit more what you'd like to see out of Nova Imperium and Search and Destroy, is having that little bit of a lead. We've got Forsaken really stepping up for the team for kills, but not just him. The rest of the team able to pick up kills across the board there. I mean, pretty even. We saw players struggling down at 0, 1, and pretty much everybody picking up a kill that round. So really, really good work out of the team there. And right now, it's a lot of potential yet still for Nova. And again, they really have to win this matchup here. If Nova lose the Search and Destroy, man, I don't know if I see a way where they go to the finals. So, you know, potentially could see that Nova versus Nova third place matchup that you were talking about earlier. So we'll have to see what they're able to bring to the table. Still a lot of game ahead of us. At least 4 rounds. If Nova were to win the next 4, they could pick up the win. But obviously up against a team like Tribe, potentially way more if they're even able to hold the lead that they have here.
Yeah, and right now Nova Imperium not finding any type of progress. They're trying to find the sniper pigs. Hex has the bomb in hand. They're finally going to make the push on over to the A site, or it looked like they were. But they're going to be forced back. Hex just trying to figure out where he needs to go right now. They don't have a whole lot of utility to work with. Bye-bye, trying the pre-nade on the inside of trailer. One smoke going to go ahead and go out. Hex makes it into the trailer, but he's got a regen right here. High's actually going to be able to land the initial snipe right there. That opens up the bomb plant right here. And suddenly things looking really good for Nova Imperium following a super slow start. Bolu, A-Flows, and Marshy, the only players remaining. They've got to find 5 picks to make this happen right here. Marshy tries to push into trailer, but there's snipers everywhere. Bolu's going to be the only player left. Finds a double kill right there, a single kill. Not going to be enough. Nova Imperium starting to look a lot stronger, as that's going to be 3 rounds in a row going toward them in Search and Destroy.
Yeah, Nova Imperium showing up in a big way here. Once again, another round where basically everybody picked up a kill, with the exception of Hax, the player who's been popping off all day long. Had a really good first round for them. But again, the rest of the team kind of finally picking up and carrying their weight for today, comparatively speaking. Nova Imperium doing a great job here. A lot of potential coming out of them. Slothy with that Fennec able to pick up an early kill onto Hacks once again. And that is bomb down. It's not in a super dangerous place, but it's not in a great place either, with Tribe having control currently over trailer. So we'll have to keep his eye out for who's going to make that rotation up and try to pick up the bomb. Fortunately for the side of Nova Imperium, I don't think Tribe know the bomb's down up there, just based on where Hacks got killed and where the bomb dropped. So that's a little bit of a cushion for an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, and it seems like Nova Imperium's using a lot of utility to try to get the bomb back, when right now, like you said, I don't think Tribe knows where it is. They sent up all their gas grenades, all their nades, just to get the bomb back, and now they're down a man trying to make a push toward one of the sites. They've got no utility to work with. Somehow High is able to land the shot onto A-Flows. I don't really understand that one, but he's able to make it happen. They did have one smoke left to play with. Forsaken. And go ahead, put the bomb down right here. Nade's going over top, but the trophy system's in place. Nova Imperium safe for now, and they've got a man advantage once again. Bye-bye trying to take shots to slow down the push for Tribe Gaming. He hits the kill right there onto Marshy. That is crucial. Now only 2 players remain. Not a whole lot of time to work with. Slothy has the Fennec in hand, trying to hit the shots, but Wally is there with the Arctic 50 in hand. And now Bolu forced into a clutch with only 15 seconds. I think High managed to wallbang right there. And that's going to be the 4th round in a row going on over to Nova Imperium.
Yeah, Nova Imperium definitely bounced back strong after that first round went over to Tribe. So definitely got to give them credit of keeping the spirits up, keeping the momentum going after that round or after that loss in Hardpoint, and then coming into that first round loss of Search and Destroy. Hacks been playing great for them all day. Had a great first round. The rest of the team, 5 for Bye-Bye, 5 for Wally, 5 for High, 5 for Forsaken. They've all picked up and been doing equally well across the board. So definitely got to give some credit to these guys over here. They know Search, and they can compete with the best in this mode. So do have Tribe with a plant, but we have Wally with a kill onto A-Flows there, making use of that Arctic 50. Could potentially be a reason why they maybe threw the KRM ban instead of the Arctic 50 there earlier, as we do have High and Wally both using that Arctic 50. So maybe it was more so of a comfort call than anything else. But Nova, they've been finding kills. Jez and Bolu able to pick up some return, but is looking like it's going to be a 5th round in a row going over to the side of Nova Imperium. And they're in a great spot to at least tie things out as far as the series goes. But again, I fear for them that it's going to be a difficult time to overcome Tribe in the respawn modes.
Yeah, they've looked really good in the Search and Destroy. Even when they got completely juked in that first round, it looked like Tribe was initially going to go with the A push, then they hit a fast swing back to B, and then immediately swung back toward A. And even with the initial plant going their way, somehow Nova Imperium was able to get the retake. Now Hack's in a really good spot. He's finding a frag onto Jez right there. So it's going to be a 3v3. He's got the RPG in hand, sending out nades right here. Trying to secure himself some position to make that push back toward the bomb site. A-Flows is there. Hack's not able to spot him. That's actually a super easy frag for him. Bolu and Marshy, the only players remaining, both on the inside of trailer. This should be an easy defuse, but a missed opportunity. Hacks is going to be able to hit the end. Oh my gosh! Oh. The double kill! Hacks to clutch up right there. His teammate dropped and it didn't matter. What a beautiful play to close out the game, and Hacks single-handedly clutching up right there to give Nova Imperium the 6-2 win.
That was
filthy.
It's just playing so crazy today.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how else to explain it, but Hacks is just, I don't know.
Oh my.
You're gonna have to start checking. He may have submitted a screenshot, but we have no proof this is not Zim playing here.
True. Can we get confirmation that this is not Zim? Because I'm very, very skeptical right now. Oh my god, that was just disgusting. I have no words.
That was like such a clean double. Like just
yeah.
The rotation timing, the angle, everything just fell together perfect for Hacks right there.
Yeah, and anytime, like, we know A-Flows has been really good for Tribe all season, but anytime you got one of your best snipers going 2 and 7 in a sniper-dominant map, like Firing Range, it's going to be really tough to make something happen. You got to expect he's probably going to bounce back. Especially if we go to another Game 5, he's probably going to bounce back with the sniper. We will have to wait and see on that one. We are going to run through the MVP of the split real quick, just because we did not have the opportunity to talk about that earlier. So we do have as our nominees, we got Ban for Nova Invictus, Forsaken for Nova Imperium, Tectonic for Trovo Mayhem, Slothy for Tribe, and Fish from NL Esports. So we have 3 players actually tied at the number 3 spot. Each of them had 7 votes apiece. Keep in mind, this is all voted on by the players. Tectonic, Forsaken, and Banned all tied at 7 votes, coming in at the number 2 spot. Slothy for Tribe with 12 votes, and winning by only 2 votes, Fish from NL Esports comes away with the clean sweep for the awards for Season 5 of Mobile Mayhem. He gets them all right there, and you gotta, based on the performance we've seen from him not only tonight but all season long, you gotta think that the guy deserved it. Slothy's been really good for Tribe, but right now, NL securing that top spot.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, Fish deserves all 3 of these.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you try not to, when you're sitting here like imagining these lists out in your own head, you try not to, man, Fish already got Rookie and Sniper. Do we give him MVP too? It's so hard not to, just because he, again, had such a strong performance all season long. So the players obviously felt the same as well. And, you know, congratulations, man. Congratulations, Fish.
Yep. We are getting ready to hop into game number 3. It is going to be Domination on Standoff. We've seen 2 very different stories so far. So obviously, when it comes to the respawns, we've got Tribe pretty much owned it outside of P1 and 2 on Hackney Yard, and then when it comes to the Search and Destroy, it's complete dominance for Novas. They win 6-1. So you got to take into account the overall momentum of Nova Imperium going up against the respawn momentum of Tribe, alongside just the overall respawn dominance that they've had all season long. It's not like every once in a while they have a crazy respawn game. It's time and time again. They own the respawn. You got to expect that is what Nova Imperium thinks is going to happen right here. They're trying to do everything they can to counter it. We are hopping into the game right now, so we're going to be checking that out, but not going to be an easy match. Nova Imperium obviously going to need to sneak away with a respawn somewhere if they're going to have a shot at taking out Tribe Gaming. We know they can win the Search and Destroy, but they've got to find at least one respawn. We'll see if they can make it happen here in game number 3.
Enemy has Alpha.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And again, I think this is where Imperium is just going to struggle a lot. And they absolutely have the potential, but Tribe is just, when it comes to respawns, historically, I mean, even with a different roster in previous seasons, for some reason, Tribe is just consistently, we want to be good at respawn. And part of that may be that 2 out of our 3 games throughout the open season are respawn, but then you also look into the finals. 3 out of our 5 for the best of 5, and then, 4 out of our 7 for the best of 7, I think, or 5 out of 7 for our best of 7. So it's not a bad strategy to just be good at respawn,
yeah.
But you know, it definitely there's a lot of potential. Nova Imperium, a team that you cannot sleep on. They once again out of the gate have a lead. Nova Imperium were able to get the B cap, but
wow.
Oh my God, Hacks, dude, Hacks is crazy today.
I mean, that one's not even like he made a crazy play. It was just the right nade at the right time. He gets a double kill, clears off the B flag. It looks like Tribe might still be able to take it right here as They're fragging out. They got pretty solid map control. Everybody spawning out for Nova Imperium. Marshy doing his job, playing the OBJ. The gravity spikes not timed correctly right there. It is going to be Tribe Gaming taking control of the B flag right here. And Jez taken out on the backside of the tank right there. It seems like Nova Imperium is doing a good job of countering, and their map control has looked good so far, but whenever you got players in top of blue, it's just going to be tough to find any type of momentum over toward the B flag. We see that happen right there as they get immediately shut down by players in multiple directions. And they're going to have to try to eliminate a few players up there if they're going to have a shot at putting some pressure on that B flag and maybe getting a retake.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely doable, right? I mean, again, Nova Imperium, they have the skill. They could come through and they could find a way to get this B cap back in their favor. They may find their success in the second half, but right now, tie game. 50-50, first round going, I mean, really just either way. So we will have to see moving forward what we have going on, as we've had a couple attempts at a B push coming out of the side of Nova and Imperium, but they've been unable to find a situation where they can all move forward. It seems the kills are so back and forth right now that they just can't find any sort of momentum to lock down B. Tribe continuously filling up the feed as well. A-Flow's a constant staple for this team. Chat, you guys are just like the biggest traders nonstop. A-Flows picks 2 kills in Search and Destroy. You guys want to say he's not good enough for Tribe? This man has been great all season long, and he's once again showing it right here. 14 kills on the board for him, and honestly, A-Flow's just incredible player, and really helping Tribe keep things together right now. So just more proof that chat doesn't know what they're talking about, Bobby.
I mean, that's the truest thing I have heard all day long. And Tribe Gaming, I mean, this side is just so tough to get a break on whenever you're going up against somebody that knows how to control that blue building. So many angles that you can hold. Slothy finding a bunch of kills right there. He's going to move up to 14. Bolu and Marshy not having bad games. They're just having okay games. And right now, if you've got the top of your team able to control things where they need to, then you don't really have a whole lot that you have to worry about. Jez able to get away with 1 HP. Now making the rotation to top of shops. And it's going to be a 24-point lead for Tribe Gaming. If they win this, it's not going to be a surprise. Like, we expect Tribe to be able to win the respawns, and we expect them to be at a disadvantage in the Search and Destroy. It's probably going to come down to whether or not Nova Imperium is able to sneak away with one of the respawns. They're trying to make it happen right here. This is going to be the side where they've got the best shot at making it happen. Hex gets some time right there. Going to get immediately taken out by Slothy. Forsaken slides the corner. He's going to get a frag. That's some crucial map control, taking control of Broken Wall, and he's actually got a Pred missile to work with as well. Takes out Marshy. He's got a sentry gun. He's in a really good spot right now, but honestly, that was probably a waste. That sentry gun's going to get immediately eliminated, and probably wishing that he could have that decision taken back, as he's going to get pretty much no utility out of it. No control of the B flag yet, but definitely a couple missed opportunities already off the bat for Nova Imperium.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely still well within the reach, right? We're only down about 30 points. Anything can happen in the remainder of this game. We see Forsaken picking up a couple kills there. Nova Imperium, if they can find a break and if they can hold B, they absolutely could take the lead here and be up 2-1 over Tribe. But again, Tribe, a team that is so strong at respawn, it is going to be a difficult feat for them to master. A-Flow's 23 kills, chat. Rocking it right now. We got Slothy at 17, Jez 16. Bolu actually struggling a little bit more than we normally see out of him, but you know, as much work as he put in the other games ahead of us, or ahead of this one, you definitely got to give him a little bit of a slack. It's also been a long season where Bolu has been at the top pretty consistently, so keep an eye out for this Tribe team. who are obviously looking to take their undefeated season and push it into a championship win as well. So
And
looking at the likes of Nova, pretty even across the board, with the exception of Forsaken fragging out really hard, the rest of the team just doing good. I mean, this is even as far as the gunfights are going.
Right now, it looks like Tribe's main approach is not necessarily to get the B flag. They're just trying to keep Nova Imperium off it as long as they can. But a big feed right there. Double kill for Wally, a kill for Forsaken. They've got a lot of time in right here. Wally patrolling the area does manage to get another kill as he dies there too. So Nova Imperium has control of the double cap, but they need to maintain it to make things happen and potentially get their first respawn win. We do have Bolu now making that rotation back toward the A flag. It looks like they could very easily be able to flip things right here. Nova Imperium going to need to either retake it or get the cap over onto C. We do see Wally is going to be able to survive, and they've got a Tempest in play. High finds one. Bye-bye gets the double kill. The double cap goes into play once again. We do have to keep in mind there was a lot of time off the start that we had an uncapped flag, so time could very well be a factor here as well. But right now, Nova Imperium looking like they're where they need to be, but Bolu finding a big frag. We do have Tribe taking control of the B flag, and that is typically what the game is going to hinge upon. That's not a good sign for Nova Imperium. It looked like they were able to get things to go their way, and Tribe actually getting some progress onto C. Nova Imperium needs to turn things around fast if they're going to have a shot at winning this one.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts to see them so close. They're just 22 points behind. Unfortunately for them, there's only a minute left on the clock. So if they're going to find a way, they need to do it now. And it might, even with the time remaining, be getting into triple kill territory. A-Flows has just been absolutely punishing the side of Nova this game. This man is approaching 40 kills right now. We have a Goliath from Bye Bye on the way to B, but sitting down 30 points with 40 seconds on the clock.
Oh, Bolu.
Man.
I mean, Bolu, with that Annihilator, Bolu single-handedly crushed their hopes and dreams. Just one by one, picked them off the flag. There is nothing that they could do about it. Forsaken not going to be able to land his Annihilator shots. There's only 25 seconds remaining. Even with a triple cap, it's not going to be enough for this Nova Imperium team. And like you said, they were just so close. But A-Flows getting ready to drop a freaking 40 bomb. He does it right there. He ends up dying, but wow, what a time to drop 40. And he's looking to pick up a couple more right here as well, as we do have Tribe Gaming with the 199 to 157 win in game number 4, and that puts them one game away from closing things out and moving on to the finals.
Yeah, it's I don't want to see you chat talk about A-Flows sadly ever again. Ever again. So,
put some respect on his name.
Or keep his name out your mouth. So, great game from A-Flows there. As close as that game was, again, that game was within 20 points almost the entire game.
Yep.
So without A-Flows being an absolute madman, that could have been a Nova Imperium win. So, you know, it's a rough spot to be in for your Imperium, but you got to remember you are going up against a team that is undefeated in the games that they played in the season. They played all of the tough matchups again. So when I say the matches that we've seen, it's not like they skipped out on the tough ones. They played the tough ones, and they unfortunate timing. They did miss some easy points, or what should have been easy points for them throughout the season. But Tribe won 2-0 against Imperium last time. Imperium came through with a dominating. I mean, it was a 6-1, Bobby. It was 6. Was it 6-1 or 6-2?
6-1.
6-1, and it was a first round win for Tribe. 6 in a row for Imperium. So, you know, they came through with a dominating win in Search and Destroy. But going up against Tribe, that's going to be a difficult situation to be in. Tribe are a incredibly strong Respawn team, and our next matchup is going to Hardpoint Scrapyard. So again, Hardpoint, and again, one of the newer maps to Mobile Mayhem. It was introduced this season. So Tribe, you have to think, have the edge here. But Nova are clearly bringing their game today, and I think that last matchup shows us well enough that Nova is not incapable of winning Respawn against Tribe, and they need to come through here. Nova need this win, and if Nova pick up the win here, there's a big chance that Nova goes to the finals.
Yeah, that increases. Well, obviously it increases their odds exponentially because if they lose here, then they're out. But
but going into Search and Destroy for the final matchup, if they win here, they have favoritism in that last map.
Yeah.
So they have to win here, but if they win here, they have a lot of weight carrying them forward throughout into the final.
Yeah, and definitely, based on the way things have gone for them so far, a lot of pressure on Forsaken and on Hex. Those have been the two players carrying them pretty much all the way through tonight. High had some shining spots in the Search and Destroy, but especially when it comes to the respawns, those have been the two players that they've been really, really heavily dependent on. And they need those guys to show up. Honestly, more than they need those guys to show up, they need Wally, High, and Bye-Bye to show up because it's less about the performance from your big fraggers and much more about getting that consistency across the board that you really, really need in order to go up against somebody like Tribe, who they just have that many players that can pop off. Because the thing about A-Flows is, yeah, he's a really good player, but it's not even like he's been top frag consistently. Like the majority of the time, it's Slothy that we're looking at as the top fragger on the team, or maybe sometimes Bolu. But it shows you anybody on this team can pop off at any given point in time, and that's why it's so important that you get big contributions from every single player on your team. That's what Nova Imperium needs to give themselves a shot at pushing this to a Game 5.
And that last matchup showed they absolutely have the potential to do so. Yeah. So this is the most important match for Nova all season long. Because, again, they have to win here to go to a Game 5. But with that Game 5 being Search and Destroy, and the Search and Destroy we just watched happen before that Domination, 6 rounds in a row. So there's a lot of potential for Nova still on the table. And that would be... While it's hard to call it an upset because of how good both of these teams are, it's not an upset overall. You look at Tribe's undefeated season, for them to come through, if they lost here, it would be an upset season-wide. So it's a tight race, and it's still anybody's game. You'd typically give Tribe the edge here, with this being Hardpoint Scrapyard specifically. But again, if Tribe sleep on Nova, there's absolutely the skill on Nova where they could overtake Tribe.
Yeah, it looks like everybody... Oh my gosh. I said something sarcastically in chat, and now everybody's taking it seriously. No, guys. Ferg's not actually playing on Thursday. I'm memeing. Oh my gosh. One day, chat. One day, you will understand sarcasm. Until that day... I just live in misery. Anyways, waiting for our final Nova Imperium players to get in here. We do have bans on, if I remember correctly, the KRM and the Man-O-War. So once again, the Arctic 50 not banned. And on a map like Scrapyard, I feel like a much better chance that people are going to respawn snipe with that, just because there are so many long angles that you can hold with it. And with an automatic one-shot anywhere on the body, it's just such an absolute force to be reckoned with. So we'll see if that ends up coming into play. But P1, always going to be an interesting one where there are wall bangs galore, and the battle for it is going to be intense. Nova Imperium on strong side to start. So we'll see them likely get the initial entry right here. We'll see whether or not they're able to hold it as the battle for this side warehouse does begin.
Hardpoint is ours.
Yep, and we do have High picking up a kill on Slothy, but the rest of the feed is Tribe filling up a triple kill there. Forsaken finds a kill on to Marshy. Overall, obviously not too much point-wise going on for the first point at Scrapyard. While it's a very different setup, it is very similar in the sense that the first hardpoint is very dangerous to be on. Crash is because the hardpoint's so open. Scrapyard is because the hardpoint's within a second of every respawn of being seen, and you can wallbang every aspect of this point. So that is quite often why we see choppers come out very early on in Scrapyard. I'm actually surprised we don't have that right now. But so far, pretty low score across the board for both teams. We do have Tribe with a slight edge, as they will be crossing into nearly 30 points there. But moving on over to P2, we have Nova making a really strong pushover. Marshy is looking to get an anchor position, but he is in a gunfight now with Bye Bye. He picks it up, and that could be really huge. Aflows does drop there, but Marshy finds the triple kill as he finds High and Forsaken. Marshy really helping trying to draw an anchor for the team there. 6 kills on the board for him. Oh my goodness, Marshy almost single-handedly just won this point for Tribe. That was crazy.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how in the world he survived that FHJ shot, but he did it, and he did it in style, trying to stay alive right here. He's got 1 HP. Bolu there to back him up, so Tribe looking like they could probably still maintain this control, and especially with Bolu right there, things looking good. Hacks and High make the push on in. They do still need to take out Bolu, and they are going to be able to do it. So they'll get a little bit of scrap time right here, but definitely not as much as they would like. That very nearly got a retake going in for Tribe, even on that little bit of scrap time. And they've got control of next. Forsaken tries to get the double kill, but with the split damage, it's not going to happen right there. Contested hardpoint off the start right here. High just chilling up on the inside, trying to waste away time as long as he possibly can. Gets the initial kill onto Marshy. Trades go on in. Big feed goes in for Nova Imperium right here, and they're looking really strong. This hardpoint is just an absolute mess. Smokes everywhere, lethals everywhere, operators everywhere, and it is going to be Nova Imperium coming away with control, and definitely very much needed, as they were off to a slow start, but have done a really good job of securing this hard point.
Yeah, still anybody's game. We're only 20 points separating these two teams, but it does look like Tribe have control over the remainder here, or at least looked like it. We have Bye Bye actually picking up the kill onto Aflows there, finding the dome. And not enough time for them to take the lead, not even enough time for them to even things up, but definitely, again, still just signs of life. And very even and a back and forth matchup, similar to how Domination went for these two teams. Only 6 points separate them right now, so still anybody's game. And Nova fills the feed. Wally finds a triple kill with the War Machine there.
And one thing that we talked about leading up to this is Nova Imperium needed to have big performances from the players that have been struggling. We're seeing that right now. High and Wally both had struggled a good bit early on, 10 and 8 kills respectively for them, and they're making their rotations as well. Obviously, Forsaken always going to be close to the top of that leaderboard, but whenever you can get those, not necessarily secondary players, but players that are struggling a little bit more to get those contributions, you're going to give your team a much better shot. Bolu somehow able to win that gunfight up against High. That was an absolute beauty of a beam right there. And Marshy, as always, playing the OBJ right here. Tribe will be able to retake the lead, but very, very even hard point so far. Somehow Marshy able to beam with the DRH across the map onto Hex. We do have multiple players set up for next right here for Nova Imperium. Marshy immediately taken off of his War Machine. That's actually a big loss. High's going to slide in. 3 players in double digits for Nova Imperium. And just like that, they've got a big break onto P4.
Yeah, and this is, I think the first time since the first hardpoint that we've seen Imperium take a lead in respawn, and even then it was only briefly on the first like hardpoint and a half. So they were able to take a slight lead there before giving up control once again to Tribe, who made a phenomenal rotation. And looking at the kills across the board for Tribe right now, everybody doing pretty well, with Slothy leading the charge at 17, A-Flow's down at 10. So not a huge gap there. Looking over at the side of Nova, we've got Forsaken. Again, we expect him to do well, and he is. 18 points to tie Slothy right now. But we do have Bye Bye and Hacks struggling, and it's a little different of a groove for today to see Hacks being towards the bottom of the board, because he has been on fire today. And with as close as this matchup is, if Hacks is able to find his groove here in Hardpoint Scrapyard, they absolutely could still turn things around. We know he's been on the ball today. Wally definitely turned things around from the last matchup that we saw with him. So really, really still anybody's game despite a 30-point lead for Tribe right now. Marshy, once again, just absolutely playing the objective. I don't know if I can see how much time he has on the board yet. Nope, I can't.
Yeah, and right now, Slothy breaking out for Tribe, which has kind of been the norm for them this season. Obviously, lots of really good players, but he's been in the Slayer role the most for this team. Bolu staying alive on the inside of the hard point, but not for very long. High, able to get the wall bang, and a little bit of scrap time going in for Nova Imperium, but this has kind of become a pattern that started to build on the Tribe Gaming lead that we do have right now. Tribe gets around 30 points. Nova Imperium makes the late push. They're able to get some scrap time, but it's not enough to really close any type of a gap, and it also allows Tribe to go ahead and set up for next. So it's starting to snowball right here, and if things don't turn around soon, Nova Imperium could find themselves in trouble. We do have Wally pushing down with the War Machine. Marshy trying to get as many trophy systems down as he can. I think he's actually got multiple trophy systems in his inventory, and the push on in does go the way of Nova Imperium. They get the break earlier than they had been able to previously. Bolu's still in that top side, though. They don't realize they finally managed to beam him out, but there's other Tribe players already there. No surprise to see Marshy waiting on the hard point, and Hex tries to make the push on in, but immediately gets shut down. And it's once again a big hard point for Tribe Gaming. Another late push going in for Nova Imperium. That's going to set them back on the rotation to next.
Tribe have a pretty commanding lead right now. They're crossed over the 80-point lead, so not even a whole hardpoint hold for the side of Nova is able to tie things up. But we absolutely could still see this game go either way. Unfortunately for the side of Nova, there's enough points on the board where Tribe could potentially end here, and they have a cushion to do so if they're able to hold it down. So Nova need to make a break now if they want to save their chances in the semifinals here. If they do lose this matchup, they drop down into the third place decider match, which will be, I believe, our first match on Thursday.
Sorry to interrupt. I keep forgetting to do this all day. It's close to the end of the game, so we're going to go for a listen in with Tribe Gaming.
I got it.
One on new. I don't know why they're already new.
They're on new. Yo, just keep hold.
Yo, new one.
Oh, this game.
Just set up new. Don't worry about the point. Don't worry.
Oh.
I got a glass.
Yo, no, three loading. They're loading.
Yo, they're on mid. They're
Yo,
on mid.
I'm
They're on mid, dude.
Girl, out middle.
Let's fucking go, dude.
Good shit.
Hey, man, no cursing.
Dude, that fucking annihilator was so good. Oh my god.
All right, and that is going to mark the end of the road for Nova Imperium. Molly thought she was going to be able to scare me, but I did see the door open when she entered. And that is going to be it for our final game of the night. Not the frantic Tribe comms that we had heard previously, as things pretty solidly in their control, and they were pretty much in cruise control out the end of that one. If you look at the kills department, just complete dominance. Multiple players at 28 plus, nobody above 22 over on Nova Imperium. And not too surprising to see Tribe Gaming coming out on top. And that rounds it out for our final matchup of the semifinals. Wait, where's my face? Wait, that's the wrong scene. Season 5 of Mobile Mayhem. Very close to coming to a close, but keep in mind, we've got another final night of fantastic matchups on Thursday night. Definitely make sure you guys are there. It's going to be a blast to watch. Looking forward to it. As always, thank you to our admins. Thank you to our players. Thank you to Dave for helping me cast. We did lose his face, but you guys remember what his face looks like because it's so beautiful. So that's going to close it out for tonight's games. Thank you guys for watching. We are going to raid Hitman. There's Day. He's back with us.
I forgot to put it in after the voiceover.
Oh, good. But we're going to raid Hitman. He is doing his first partnered COD Mobile stream. Make sure to spam hashtag use code Bob at G Fuel checkout in his chat. Just as a reminder that you should always use code Bob. But that is going to be it for the stream. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, follow. Make sure you come back 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. And we will see you guys then.